Felix, who likes video games, swimming, and jet skiing. Here's my favorite thing about this guy. I always crack up when I look at the rider profiles. When we ask them what their pre-race strategy is, Felix's was, I like to plan out my entire race, which if this was the plan, he's got an awesome one. You're watching Felix take that outside, full, big, deep, long stretch area from the start. It is, to me, they keep saying it's very open, but to me that looks like a pretty technical series of turns for them. They've got a couple of little, I don't know, almost 90-degree dog legs that they have to negotiate, and then they pick up a pretty intense double left-hand turn. You're watching Felix on this drone footage navigate that, and then look how close they are to the side of this beautiful location at Riversport OKC. And you see the double buoy, and then Felix actually going to the inside splits, and unfortunately it looks like Ty Smith just having some problems with that boat, so just trying to hang on out there and gain some points for that next moto. Again, we're working our way through the second set of motos. All right, there's your start, and from that start, you have that big sweeper turn, and then he's just going to come back through. And again, we've talked about on the different divisions. In the lights class, you can race these two strokes, and actually much more, to me, it's a much more adaptable boat, easy to move around. Pretty quick to pop out of the water. You do have to really focus on where the boat is positioned in the water, making sure that right plate and the intake grate maintain that connection. That's what really helps you with the forward momentum. Again, you're watching true domination here from a gentleman out of Ukraine. Said he likes Ukraine racing, but he dislikes Russia. Again, pretty fun to watch these guys fill out these different forms. And we always ask him, too, what kind of, like, really cool music. He said he likes Roundabout, Leonard Skinner, Freebird. I always thought that one of the things we ought to try to talk everybody into is letting us listen to music while we're racing. So far, I haven't been able to talk anybody into it. The one-legged monkey jump as he comes through. There's the win for Felix Marienko. And you are watching the second round of motos. And what a great finish. Again, that was the Ski Light 10 to 11. I'm going to sneak back over here and take a quick opportunity to do an interview. What are you up to? Come on over here. All right. I think you ought to show everybody your helmet. I'm down here with Christian Bain, by the way. Christian, how'd you like that last round?
Yeah, I liked it.
It's pretty fun to watch you, I got to say. So did they split that up? Because originally I thought they had you guys together in that first class, but they split you up in separate ones then? Yes, I think they did. Or maybe not. He said, I don't know. So what was your strategy for the next race, you think? Just win. You know what? I pretty much like to take my approach on just about everything. Just, whatever. I'm going to step right up and do my thing. All right, who's your sponsors?
Showtime Freestyle, Naughty Water Racing, IJSBA, and Commanders Industries, and that's it.
Okay, well, that's pretty darn good to start. Okay, sir, I'll see you back out on the next moto.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye. Feel free to grab a donut. Oh, he said no. I can't do that on my race strategy. We'll be right back. Oh, actually, we've already got the lineup. I'm not sure that we'll have time to sneak away. And down on the line, got our next race coming at you, and this is going to be the Ski Lights Class 12 to 13. And you can hear him shout for the different riders as they get ready. I will give you that quick lineup. Boat number 929, or excuse me, 529. That's going to be Kylie Meyer. She's lined up second on the pole position. Also down on the line at 851, Britton Reinhardt, who took the win in moto number 1. Tristan Hebert on the 41 boat. Trent Cornett on boat number 27. And Knox Ritchie is out there on boat number 99. Karis Webster getting ready to rumble on the big 210. Her dad Steve Webster down there holding 4. And also on that lineup, boat number 139, Abby Weldon. All right, there is your race lineup. This is going to be motor number 2, lights 12 to 13. And we should be looking at 5 laps for this one. I want to thank you so much for joining us on the live stream. Don't forget to share that link out. So much chatter already about Christian Bain. Yes, he was totally adorable. Best interview so far. Those are the toughest, though, right? When they just look at you like, why'd you ask me that question? Really, really fun to get a chance to catch up with these different guys. It was funny because he was listening to me, so I was actually nervous with Christian Bain over here watching me talk on the microphone. It's amazing. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Watching the Junior Nationals here at Riversport OKC, and can you just get a sense of the massive facility size here? It is insane. Thank you so much for the camera just giving us an opportunity to take a look at this incredible venue where Olympic hopefuls for kayaking and canoeing get a true opportunity. This is where the 2012 Canadian Canoe Kayak Olympic Team Trials happened. The 2012 U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Training Site Conference was here. The 2012 U.S. Rowing National Convention happened here. The 2013 American Idol TV show. It's just a huge facility. I could give you an entire lineup of major sporting events. You've got whitewater rafting, kayaking, and tubing is just part of the river sport adventures available. By the way, all that powered by a total of 6 pumps that weigh over 12,000 pounds each. They even have a sky trail at this amazing facility. And here's what's even cooler. So even after the kids get to race, they also have the opportunity to play in the entire facility. All of these different activities are available to them and the family over the weekend. It's truly, to me, one of the most perfect venues we could possibly have for a national caliber event of this size. And the fact that this is our first annual Junior Nationals is even more amazing. I want to say a very special thank you to Jeremy Poper and also Ryan Poper, who's racing this weekend, and Trisha, of course, Lee and Tina, the founders of Lee Shore Pools. Thank you so much for being our title sponsor this weekend. And it looks like we are ready to go, and it is Britton Reinhardt with pole position after that first moto win. And actually, she was the young lady that helped us with the start. Look at Karis Webster out of the gate. Actually had a beautiful start. And she does have that pole position as they make the dash down on that backstretch. And it looks like boat number 951 or 851, Britton Reinhardt, going at it with Karis Webster. Brian Reinhardt moves into the lead. We're going to call the whole shot, though, to Karis Webster. And again, these young ladies. Oh, and did we have a red flag? Yes, we did. Well, shoot, premature acceleration. I hate it. Happens in every sport. And unfortunately, we are going to have to re-rack them. So we're going to bring the riders back to the lineup. You can see Steve Webster down. I don't know if you guys got a chance to catch that. You're watching the action, but we had an extra camera down there looking at the start, and the parents and holders are down there pulling the riders back. So again, only one of 2, I believe, red flag starts we've had thus far today, and we've already been through our first set of motos. Lance Vincent chiming in. Let's go, Abby, and let's go, Knox Ritchie. And we are going to get these bags back out on the line. Pole, you can see down there, 41, getting restaged. And we'll see if we are going to get a penalty call. I do have one of the riders down here, though, that just took the win in a Moto prior. And let's see if we can sneak away and do a super quick interview, or if we need to stay on that lineup. I think we might just stay on that lineup. All right, you guys, we are back to this lineup. Just waiting for these guys to get through, and I'm not sure if we are going to have a penalty on that. Generally, what they do on the lineup in the junior racing is they actually will bring them back, but they won't actually give a penalty. They'll literally just give them a quick opportunity for training. So, yep, and I just heard on the radio, no penalties on that. So again, when they bring it back, particularly in junior racing, the idea here is more to train than to give the riders a penalty. And actually, the perfect person to tell me a little bit more about that is Felix, who just took the win. Felix, do you focus on trying not to get a false start? Or do you worry about that at all? Yep, you probably won't be able to hear yourself.
So,
We'll do it this way.
yeah, I feel better. So, well, half and half actually. I try to get a very good start. Before today, really. Actually, yeah, before Paris, Texas, I actually try to get a better start than a penalty. Wait, no, wait, than a false.
No, I thought you did really good. Don't worry about it. All right, who's your sponsors, Felix?
My sponsors are, who's it called again? Works H2O Designs. They got the best shoes on the market.
Well, that was pretty perfect. Well, we are going back to racing. Felix, thank you so much, and congratulations on your second Moto win.
Thank you.
He grabs both microphones. It gets even better. All right, I heard whistles. I'm not sure if that is a red flag, but we are back to the track with racing. Let's see if Karis Webster could do a recap on it. But again, congratulations to Felix for his win and also for a very fun interview. Let me just take a look real quick and see if we can get you our whole shot. It looks like Britton Reinhardt. Man, she looks good. And it is going to be Britton Reinhardt with the whole shot in that second start. That's going to be a back-to-back for her. If she could do it, Karis Webster is going to be second. Tristan Hebert and boat number 27, that's Trent Cornett, both battling for third and fourth as they come through. But again, it is Britton Reinhardt with the whole shot, and the current lead on 851 is her boat number. Watching all the crazy action out here at Riversport OKC in Oklahoma City. And man, look at this girl take these turns. She is definitely so smooth and incredibly fun to watch. One of the things I want to point out when you were watching this young lady on camera, notice how low she goes over the side of the boat, right? She is literally dropping the handlebars, dropping her weight, keeping that center of gravity as low as possible. And you're watching the both the rover and the drone action with her, but this is our roving camera getting just a beautiful series of angles for this young lady as she tackles this track. and incredibly graceful. There's a lot of different ways to handle jet ski racing and the handling, but this young lady is truly a finesse rider. She's not going to try to be too overly physical, and she's going to complement her physicality to how to truly convert that into speed on the track. And one of the great ways to do that is to be very quiet on the boat, and she is also going to make sure that she is very deliberate and intentional on each one of these moves as she approaches the buoy. And you can see what I'm talking about. Everything looks almost in slow motion, truly. She switches legs, drops her body over the side, all of that to be able to maintain a higher speed and keep that boat hooked up. And if you take a look at that, just as we're coming through where the checkered flags are, see where her foot position is. For a lot of people that are watching on the stream, they're very familiar with this riding pattern, but if you're new to jet ski racing, what she's doing is making sure that she's putting her weight distribution over that intake grate, and she's also making sure that when she sets up on these turns that she's keeping the boat hooked up. It's deceptive easily to see how easily she handles that. There's the long view as we get a chance to catch up with second, third, and fourth. Karis Webster was in second, Tristan Hebert and Cornell still battling out, and it looks like Tristan Hebert still holding on to that third place spot, and Ryan Cornell in fourth. And beautiful view of this track. And Brenton Reinhardt, just smooth as silk out there. And by the way, that is what you're watching is the outside split. So again, very long track. And that outside split, oh, great drone, perfect time for the drone view. Looks like we're getting close to our final lap as well. So she's going to come right back to where that start grid was and that huge sweeper left-hand turn. And again, red buoys, going to tell you to go to the left. So it means your boat literally has to be on the left as well. She's already moved quickly enough through this timing grid that she is starting to pick her way into lap traffic. And Britton Reinhardt out on the track. Britton Reinhardt is a student. That boat, by the way, was built by TC Freeride. Oh my goodness. Tristan Hebert is getting a lot of pressure. And Tristan Hebert was back in the second place spot, but right now the battle is really intensifying with Tristan Hebert and Trent Cornell. And Tristan Hebert right now is holding him off. Actually, Trent Cornell has moved back, and it is Knox Ritchie that did not get a great start. He's moved up into third, and now Knox Ritchie from sixth is pushing the pressure on Tristan Hebert, and off of that turn, that's your second place rider, Tristan, 41, and Knox Ritchie on the 99. Tristan goes to the outside. Knox Ritchie will be going to the inside split. And Knox Ritchie is setting up for a pass and an overall. Meanwhile, your checker flag goes to Britton Reinhardt and Tristan, and makes Knox Ritchie battling it, and Knox Ritchie getting second place. Tristan Hebert will be third. Great run for all three riders. Britton Reinhardt, who took the win, and again, Knox Ritchie second, and Tristan Herbert rounding out your top three. You've been watching Ski Lights 12 to 13. This was the second moto. Man, beautiful run. We'll be back right after this.
This is it. Make this the summer you go for more. More adventure, more fun, more time outdoors. Plan your trip to Riversport OKC and get ready to check off your bucket list. Ziplining? Check. Whitewater rafting, tubing, and surfing? Check. A 6-story ropes course and even indoor skiing? Check and done. From getting on the water to reaching for the sky, make this the summer you go for more at Riversport. Downtown OKC and online at riversportokc.org.
And you guys, we're back. This is going to be our next race, ski lights, 14 to 15, race number 3, and Tanner Wright down on that lineup on boat number 713. And along with that is going to be Jackson Lloyd on the 6-2 boat. Boat number 53 will be Gary Holbein Jr. Boat number 11, Ryan Poper down on that line. Boat number 26 is Taylor Smith. Boat number 160 is Andrew Vo. And boat number 07, Caden Schilling. That is your current lineup for the second moto, race number 3. And again, this is part of the qualifiers for the Grand Championship race. Oh, sorry about that, Tony. We'll try to sync up a little bit better with that live feed. I appreciate your feedback on that. We were trying to cut to that action with second and third. That was the battle in that prior race between Tristan Hebert and Knox Ritchie. So, again, we'll get a little bit better with that for you. And Caden Schilling's on the 210. Thank you so much for the update on that. So we do have a boat change for Caden Schilling. And again, here is your lineup from the pole position. Boat number 11, that's going to be Ryan Poper who has the pole. Boat number 713 is Tanner Wright. He will be up second from that pole position. In third, off the pole will be Super G, Gary Holbein on the 53. 210 will be fourth. That'll be Caden Schilling. And then 160 will be Andrew Vo. And then on the outside will be boat number, looks like boat number 924. And oddly, I don't have a boat lineup with that one. And we are off. Ryan Poper with the whole shot. Man, what a beautiful start for Ryan Poper. And I do see G up in the mix. Ryan Poper, whose dad actually runs Leisure Pools. His dad founded that. Lee Poper. Jeremy Poper's been racing both at the World Finals and in regional racing for, oh my gosh, got to be well over a decade now. And now that second generation in the mix. Ryan Poper with the lead in the second of the Grand Champion qualifiers. All right, your race leader, Ryan Poper. Just taking a quick look back. And it is going to be Tanner Wright up in second. So again, your top two riders will be first and second, Ryan Poper and Tanner Wright. Again, watching ski lights, 14 to 15. And, well, hello there. I am back with the young lady that just took the second moto. Well, you talked about this in the opening, in the intro, Britton, and great job. Your strategy is working quite well just to go back out there and get a hole shot. How'd you feel in moto number 2?
I
I felt really good. It was super fun.
Girl, you look so smooth out there. I was actually talking about this, but I want your feedback on it. Do you feel like you're more of a finesse rider than a physical rider? Because when I watch you, you seem awfully smooth. Is that something you focus on?
I just focus on like sweeping the buoys to like just stay consistent, and that's really it.
Well, you looked amazing. I tell you what, hopefully we'll see you right back out there at Moto number 3, but you got a very tight set of competition. We'll see how it all plays out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's get back to that race action. That was Britton Reinhardt, your winner in Moto 2. All right, let's go back. I could hear Glenn Elliott getting fired up down there, so pretty sure there's been some challenges to those top couple of positions. We'll come back out to the track and get you the update on it, but Ryan Poper still leading in the second moto. Tanner Wright going to go to the inside and put some more pressure on Ryan Poper. That is your battle for first and second. And the time, only 2 seconds separating the top 3. Gary Holbein Jr., or Gary Holbein Super G, is up in third. That's your top 3 as they come through. Andrew Vo is up in fourth. Yeah, there was quite a battle on that start. Again, your top 4, Ryan Poper, followed by Tanner Wright on the 713, and that has been the closest battle thus far. Super G, that's Gary Holbein Jr. in third, and Andrew Vo in fourth place. Again, you're watching Moto 2. This is Ski Lights, 14 to 15. Top 2 of these 3 classes, race 2, 3, and 4. The top 2 will be going to that Grand Championship. And look at Ryan Poper taking a quick look back to see how close Tanner Wright was. And it is no longer a 2-second difference. It is .72, like under a second, 72 hundredths of a second between these two riders. And that is too close to call, man. Very, very great racing. Super G back there playing spoiler with these riders. The ski light class definitely was going to be pretty exciting just looking at the lineup. 713, by the way. The 7 is Tanner's lucky number, and he said 13 is his favorite number. And right now, can he turn that superstition into a overtake? Or will he get second in Moto number 2? He's already a one-time world champion. His first race back in 2021. You're talking about the gentleman in second. You can just see him at the top part of the screen right here. Going to the outside is Ryan Poper. And Ryan Poper is definitely watching. Beautiful win for Ryan Poper on boat number 11, and that was close. So a beautiful, beautiful job for Ryan Poper. And I got to say, man, Tanner Wright made that a amazing ride all the way through. Hey, speaking of junior racing, Junior Stars Racer fans this year will be making amazing Junior Stars t-shirt. Here's how to help us. Please send one clear action shot photo with your child on their ski. All proceeds will go for Junior Stars. Email or text to Shanti or Rhea. And get your opportunity for a really cool Junior Stars t-shirt. There's a great replay of Ryan Poper. One second, we'll switch over to our next race for you. Okay, we're back with race number 4. And now we really do have boat number 924, Parker Kaiser, on the line. Along with Caden Webster, Reese Geis, Brenton Hanshee, Josh Simon, and Hendrick Smith all be joining this line. Shout out to all the great people listening on the live stream. Tony Tabor, appreciate you being there. And here's your replay for Ryan Poper and Tanner Wright. So close. Under a second separating these two on this final couple of buoys, and you can see just how smoothly Ryan Poper took that outside split, quit look over. He knew he had it. What an amazing run for boat number 11. And back down to your lineup on race number 4. It is going to be boat number 141 with the pole position, Reese Geis. Boat number 10 will be second. And a boat number 12 lined up out there as well. But again, 141 with the whole shot. And a great start. So Reese Geis in this one, the lady that qualified second fastest and got a second place yesterday in the slalom division. Reese Geis deep in the pack, back in 6th place. Trying to get a capture a quick look here of your whole shot. Oh, should have known. Parker Kaiser with a beautiful whole shot. Man, I love this boat. The gold trim on the front of it is gorgeous. Beautiful wrap and a great start for the showman with the whole shot. Boat 924, Parker Kaiser. 125, Josh Simon is going to be second, and Reese Geis from 6th is up in 3rd. So recap on that. Parker Kaiser with the whole shot. Josh Simon in 2nd, and Reese Geis on the 141 is in 3rd. Watching the 16 to 17 class. Now again, I have to say one of the most exciting classes we're going to get a chance to watch is going to be that Grand Championship, and that's after they win the 3 motors. The top 2 riders in the 12-13 ski lights and 14-15 ski lights, and then of course this class as well, will all go head to head in a ski light Grand Championship shootout. Can't wait to get an opportunity to watch that. Now, we talked about Britton Reinhardt and how much of a finesse rider she was. Take a look at Parker Kaiser. This is a completely different riding style. This gentleman definitely pushes to the edge. Not only that, he uses a lot of physicality when he's on the boat and out on the track, and that makes for an exciting run. It's high risk, but certainly incredibly exciting to watch. And that is the gentleman on the 924, Parker Kaiser, that you are watching. Parker lives in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, by the way, 16. He actually works for Taylor Curtis and the guys at TC Freeride. And TC Freeride built both the skis. First race back in 2021. His first win wasn't until 2022. Took a second or vice grand championship and a third at World Finals just last year. He said he also likes to race side-by-sides. Here's the coolest life goal I've ever heard. Have as much fun as possible, and then he ends it with while racing. You're watching Parker Kaiser, and you're also watching the ski light 16 to 17. and Hendrick Smith actually on the number 10 boat. And there is the 924 Parker Kaiser, 125 Josh Simon, and Reese Guy, second and third, respectively. We'll be doing 6 laps. What an incredible track we're watching. Very technical. I'm kind of impressed that the riders keep saying that it's wide open, because looking at our perspective, that looks just opposite of wide open. You're looking at a $100 million development here at Riversport OKC on 100 acres along the Oklahoma River. That's what we're racing on today. Average depth 10 to 15 feet. This river was created through a combination of private and public dollars, including MAPS TAC dollars, corporate and individual donations. And by the way, this river is adjacent to OKC's downtown and only a 15-minute walk from hotels and restaurants right here in Lower Bricktown. So an incredible location, and what I would consider to be one of the most perfect venues for racing, and even better, junior racing. These guys get to not only hang out here all day and do something that they love, but then they're also able to, right after the racing, go partake of all the cool activities here at Riversport OKC. I want to say a special thank you again to our sponsors, Jet Tribe, and also to Leisure Pools. Parker Kaiser, your race leader, just came out of the option buoy or split buoy and picked that outside split once again. I've heard several times that the riders really do prefer the outside split. But man, I'll tell you, Tanner Wright made a case in that race prior that inside split was very competitive. Josh Simon still second, and Reese Geis third. Boat number 127, that's Caden Webster back in fourth, and Hendrick Smith rounding out your top 5 for watching ski lights, 16 to 17. You know, truly honored to call this beautiful venue home for the next few days as we usher in a brand new generation of jet ski racers into the world of competitive world-class racing. Thanks to our generous sponsors, our junior athletes have access to the very best drone technology, cutting-edge timing equipment. It has certainly created an opportunity for true high-quality live streaming. Congratulations to Parker Kaiser for taking the win, and ski lights 16 to 17. Josh Simon just coming through, and he gets it. He barely gets by past Reese Geis, so Reese going to take third. And a 127, that is Caden Webster for fourth, and Hendrick Smith, again, rounding out your top 5 as we finish up with race number 4, ski lights 16 to 17. All right, we are looking at an instant replay here of Parker Kaiser on that final lap. All right, so again, we are just getting a chance to watch this outside split, and look how he tackles going through these series of buoys. Instead of just dropping down into the tray, he's going for high risk, high reward maneuvers by pushing his entire body over to the side, still dropping down, but that requires a tremendous physical effort to be able to do that. Doesn't drop as low into the tray as the other riders, but man, you could certainly make an argument for this is the type of riding that we saw with Jeff Jacobs back in the early 90s, one of the legends of our sport, truly. Great run by Parker Kaiser, and appreciated getting the chance to catch that replay. All right, guys, we are just switching out the different boat styles, and we're going to be moving to the Rec Light class. Javier Falcon taking the win in the prior Moto. Should get that pole position. We'll be right back. All right, you guys, we're back. We're just getting ready for the Rec Light class 14 to 15. And right down here in the booth, I want to just take a quick moment and catch up with Ryan Poper, who just took the win. But I did not realize that you were having problems as well on the boat. Let everybody know on the live stream what was going on out on the track.
Probably the first lap, something got stuck in my pump, and I just had to sweep, keep a good line so that I could carry speed.
Yeah, I was super impressed. You were watching where Tanner Wright was behind you, but he reduced that gap to under a second. What was your strategy, just trying to hold him off?
I was just trying to stay in front of him so my pump wash would slow him down. And he was going very fast, though. It was hard to stay in front of him.
Yeah, you did an amazing job. Anybody you'd like to thank?
Leisure Pools and just the river sport and everyone here.
And you did terrific. Ryan, thank you so much. Can't wait to see you back out there. Good luck, bud. All right, you guys, that was Ryan Poper. Again, this is that big battle in the different divisions, right, to see who's going to be in the Grand Championship. Up next, with one of the coolest looking boats on the water, we'll be with that interview in just a moment. We're going to cut to the live action, and then we'll get back to Parker Kaiser, who you just watched a second ago. Right now, Rec Lights on the water, and let's see who got that whole shot. I will tell you, the gentleman that took the win in that last moto, Javier Falcon on the 22 boat, was actually lined up on that pole position. Just checking to see. I'm going to have to go for the bigger binoculars, clearly. It's always fun to try to get used to the new boats. I do believe that is Javier Falcon. And he took the outside split again. Oh, so hard to catch these guys. All right, and I do believe it's Cooper Caldwell in second. That is going to be a repeat, and then Hendrick Smith rounded out your top three. But again, Javier Falcon taking the whole shot. And then Cooper Caldwell, 193 for second. And then Hendrick Smith, third on this. This is going to be our only, what I would consider, right, to be a sit-down class that's rec light. More of a fun, not as fast class. I would see some of these big boats that we get to watch, like in Runabout GP1, but still super, super fun boats to watch. And again, Javier Falcon is your current race leader. And just going through, he's taking the outside again. He just had a minor fault on that fourth buoy on the splits, and that was enough to close the gap between him and the gentleman riding up there in second, Cooper Caldwell. This is that same battle we saw unfolding in the Moto prior to this, and they are cooking through there. Javier, by the way, favorite music is Co-Wetzel, one of mine as well, which I love. Said he likes anything with sports. All right, you guys, back to the water as we get ready to go. I'm not going to let Parker Kaiser get away. The gentleman that won that moto a minute ago, but let's carry on through this just a little bit more so we can watch the racing. Again, this the Rick Lights and Javier Falcon. Loves sports, dirt bikes, four-wheelers, jet skis, and clearly loves winning because he's going for back-to-backs here. And looks like Cooper taking the outside, following him. I like how Cooper strategizes that. 2.13, all that separates first and second place. And I find the strategy that Cooper Caldwell is unfolding very fascinating. So he took the inside split the lap prior, just making sure that he was in his rearview mirror, right? And then jumped to the outside split. Two possible ideas for that could be a little psychology, just trying to get in Javier Falcon's head, or it could be that Cooper Caldwell just feels like that outside's a little bit quicker. I will say typically in sit-down racing, when you're running these runabouts or sit-downs, the runabouts are always going to try to go for the split that feels more open to them. They don't want to get in too tight of a technical split, and they really want to try to avoid being in a split that's got a lot of back traffic that they're having to deal with. Right now, smooth water for both of the riders on the split section, and Javier Falcon cruising. 2.13 was all that separated that prior one. And it's down to a 1.18. So Cooper Caldwell's strategy is starting to pay off as he reduces the time working his way through. That one, he picked the inside split to see if he could get a little bit cleaner water. That could be what makes the difference. I do think he's caught on to the fact that Javier Falcon is moving through that outside split fairly fast. But that smooth water could be what he needs on the inside split. See if he's able to overtake on this next lap. Rec light class is super fun. I'm actually going to put Parker Kaiser on the spot, though, and just we'll wait for the actual live interview. But I'm just going to put him on the microphone, and I want you to describe the split section to me and what you think the strategy is with these runabout riders.
The best way probably is just try to get a clean, smooth water and try to get a clean run through the splits, try to make the pass.
Now, do you think it's pretty smart watching Cooper go to that inside and try to overtake?
Oh, yes, very smart because the other guy, he could always just make a mistake in the one split.
Well, speaking of mistakes, none made on that one either, but the time reduced even more. Congratulations, though. That's going to be the win for Javier Falcon. Cooper Caldwell is going to be second, but that was a heck of an effort. Well done for both the riders. You were watching the Rec Light class. Meanwhile, Parker, you did spectacular on that. You are definitely a very physical rider. Super fun to watch you out on the track. Tell me how you learned to ride like that.
Just lots and lots of practice every day.
Yeah, just too much fun. Where's your favorite place to ride?
Just Body Beach and Lake Havasu.
You do realize that's a legendary spot, right? Okay.
Yes, I do.
You dropped that out pretty smoothly. So I was like, oh, yeah, I like to hang at Body Beach on the weekends. You know, like riders around the globe just pray for an opportunity to be there.
Yeah, definitely.
What is your insight, do you think, on Lake Havasu? Like, what are your favorite, like, places to go, and what do you love best about Havasu?
I just like everything about it. There's like so much to do, so many different things to do.
Pretty fun. You had a pretty high class group of competitors out there. Who were you most concerned about in this moto?
Probably Reese. She's really fast.
Yeah, she is wicked. She had a pretty tricky start on that one, but moved up very quickly. Josh Simon was hustling, though. He was hunting you.
Yeah, he was going good.
Yeah, he looked great. Well, you did an amazing job. Anybody you want to thank?
I'd like to thank Grom, TC Freeride, Works Racing, K-Crown Performance Horses, Robo Speedco, K-Cow Customs, and my mom and dad.
By the way, I do that all the time too. Don't worry. Like it's like you just talk too fast, can't keep up. It's all good. All right. Well, good luck on this next one. Do you have any different strategy?
Just hopefully just get the start and just ride smooth.
Sounds like get her done to me. All right, sir. Congrats. Appreciate you. All right, guys, we're back. That was so much fun catching up with Parker Kaiser on that 924 boat. Well, that was race number 5. We're on to race number 6. Oh, we've already rocked out of the whole shot. You're watching Ski Stock 12 to 13 and Ski Stock 14 to 15. All right, looks like Hebert up in second. And that was a bit of a rumpus, raucous little attack out there. But Tristan Hebert on the 4-1 boat. There's 2 4-1s listed, but Tristan Hebert for second, and I believe that's just Jax Rowe on the 995. But let me get a confirmation on that. 1 minute, because, man, this is hard to get these numbers some days. And this is that day. No, it's actually 515. Check. Ty Smith. Ty Smith will get the call for the whole shot then, and it will be Tristan Hebert for second, and Ty Smith goes to the inside. Tristan Hebert is not messing around, goes to the outside split. It is going to be Jax Rowe back in third. Jax, by the way, took the win prior, but currently back in third. And it looks like Trent Cornett in fourth. Again, your top riders, Ty Smith with the lead after a really awesome hole shot. But number 41, Tristan Hebert second, and Jax Rowe third, and then Trent Cornett rounding out your top 4. Watching the IJSBA Junior Nationals, presented by Leisure Pools and Jet Tribe. Hey, Kyle Robinson, thanks for joining us on the live feed. Shara D. Snyder, I love how these kids get along at all the races. Isn't that the truth? They really, really do remind us of the joy of the sport. Shara D., thanks for hanging out with us. Chris Haggis, great to have you on the live stream as well, sir. And Kyle Robinson, thanks. Great to have you. And Miria Garcia Hepler. Go Javier. Well, he most certainly did, ma'am. All right, watching the ski stock class, both 12-13 and 14-15. So combined class, currently Ty Smith is leading in the 12-13. And Jax Rowe would be leaving in the 14-15 class. So again, 2 classes combined, but this is race number 6. And Tristan Hebert actually had the pole position, and Ty Smith was lined up right next to him. Beautiful afternoon. I'm actually so impressed that these kids do not seem to be affected by all of the cross wave action. Tristan Hebert putting pressure from that outside split on Ty Smith. They are within seconds of each other. That was an incredible performance on that last lap from Tristan Hebert. What an explosion. He was a good 6 seconds off the pace, and he is down to a 1.79 second deficit to Ty Smith on the 515. Crazy, beautiful ride for Tristan Hebert. Wowza. Ty Smith out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona, has got his hands full with Tristan Hebert. Ty sponsors Go Fast and Chuck Speed Shop. A gentleman that has a 2-time world champion title already. He said he wants to be a pro skied GP world champion, and I sure hope Kathy Ratty and Michael Ratty are listening, because he also wants to be on the cover of Pro Rider magazine. Well, I think let's see what we can do there for you, Ty. You keep riding like this, I can guarantee it. Tristan Hebert goes down briefly on that inside split, and that opens up the door for the third place rider, and that's Jax Rowe. And Jax Rowe is down in the tray, and I think Jax Rowe got it. Beautiful overtake at the finish. Congratulations to your winner, Ty. Beautiful ride, sir, but you got to hand it to Jax Rowe and Tristan Hebert. With Tristan going down, Jax Rowe was able to take advantage, move into second, and Tristan Hebert takes third overall. Wowza. Beautiful run. You watched race number 6, Ski Stock 12-13, and Ski Stock 14-15.
This is it. Make this the summer you go for more. More adventure, more fun, more time outdoors. Plan your trip to Riversport OKC and get ready to check off your bucket list. Ziplining? Check. Whitewater rafting, tubing, and surfing? Check. A 6-story ropes course and even indoor skiing? Check and done. From getting on the water to reaching for the sky, make this the summer you go for more at Riversport. Downtown OKC and online at riversportokc.org.
You probably could have charged money for that. What an incredible ride for this gentleman. Javier Falcon is joining me. And again, you've been watching the Junior Nationals brought to you by Leisure Pools and Jet Tribe. We're here at Riversport, OKC, and I couldn't have picked a better place to unfold some action like what we just watched. That battle between you and, oh my gosh, Cooper. That was a rocket ship. Tell me about how you held him off.
Just trying to stay in front of him and just keeping it pinned the whole time.
You really, really did. I also noticed, and I couldn't tell if this was deliberate, but it looked to me like you were incredibly focused buoy to just minimize mistakes. Is that what was happening?
Yes, ma'am. I'd check back to see how far back he was, and I saw he was really close. I just paid attention to where I was going.
Yeah, you looked beautiful. So, who is Miria? Because she was shouting for you on the live stream.
She's one of our family friends.
I thought maybe you might want to say hi to her.
Hi.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for joining us on the live stream. Javier, do you have any other sponsors you'd like to thank?
Just my parents and Vision Watercraft. Awesome. All right. And Deployable Racing.
Oh, that's right. Don't forget. Well, good luck. You still have one moto to go.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Any different strategy?
Just win.
Okay. Well, I like it. Keep it simple, sir. Have a great one. We'll talk to you soon. All right, that was Javier Falcon, and that was your winner in Rec Lights. We got a whole bunch more interviews coming at you shortly. I'm Dawn Dawson. Again, you're watching the action for the Junior Nationals. I want to say a very special thanks to the Proper family, all of the hard work that they've done as a part of racing this year, but also the fact that they helped us put together this race is even more exciting. Well, I got another rocket ship here joining me, fresh off of the water. Look at you. All right, tell them who you are.
I'm Ty Smith, and I'm from Lake Havasu City, Arizona.
Yeah, you might as well just say I'm flying, Ty Smith. What a start. Recap that for me.
Well, the start, I kind of slipped on the first turn. My feet slipped out of the tray, and I got a dead leg. I hit my butt on the side of the ski.
And you still got the whole shot?
Apparently.
Apparently is absolutely right. You freaking rocked this. Did you notice all those guys so close behind you? Tristan Hebert was racing hard right behind you.
Yeah, I saw him right behind me every lap. I was trying to get a bigger gap every single time, but he just kept staying right there.
Yeah, he was pretty persistent.
Yeah, he was.
Awesome. Tell me a little bit about this track. How do you like it?
Well, I like the track because it's very fast. Some tight spots and some very wide spots. A lot of spots to pass, and a lot of spots that have, what is that word?
Yeah, what is that word? Like, I don't know, is it fun to ride or what?
That are a little rough.
Oh,
like the blue split section from all the riders coming from the back straightaway makes that split section really rough.
But you kind of like that. You like the technical riding. I think I'm going to have to get some lessons from you on how to do a fast start, sir.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Ty, anybody else you want to thank?
I'd like to thank Go Fast Racing, Chuck Speed Shop, Works Racing, LS2, Liquid Molly, Blur Optics, and ODI, and definitely my mom and dad.
Excellent move on that last part, sir. Well, you know you've got a legend in the making when you have that many sponsors and that kind of an incredible race. You're listening to Ty Smith, sir. Thank you again. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
Well, okay. We'll be right back with even more interviews. Go get some rest. We'll see you on the next Moto, sir. Oh my gosh, that was too much fun. Well, I hope you guys are having as much fun as we are down here. They are certainly reminding us that racing isn't all about winning. Quite frankly, racing a lot of times is about having a great opportunity to just play and hang out with your best friends. And speaking of playing and hanging out with your best friends, we are truly at one of the most gorgeous venues in the globe to be able to offer canoeing and kayaking, whitewater rafting, and all of these other activities, and all of the families out here are actually able to do that after the racing. So again, I think we are going to take a quick break, but we're going to be doing a whole bunch of interviews as well. And then we're going to be bringing you this third and final series of motos here at this venue. We've been really looking at everywhere from 4 to 6 laps, but you can see that even with the smaller number of laps, this kind of course has definitely created a lot of opportunity for passing and some great racing. We'll be right back.
This is it. Make this the summer you go for more. More adventure, more fun, more time outdoors. Plan your trip to Riversport OKC and get ready to check off your bucket list. Zip lining? Check. Whitewater rafting, tubing, and surfing? Check. A 6-story ropes course and even indoor skiing? Check and done. From getting on the water to reaching for the sky, make this the summer you go for more at Riversport. Downtown OKC and online at riversportokc.org.
Welcome back, you guys. You've been watching the action today, of course, with the Junior Nationals brought to you by Leisure Pools and, of course, Jet Tribe. And, man, those are legacy names truly in the business. Just a special thanks to Tina and Lee Poper for not only having an amazing company, but also putting some amazing racers into our sport. Of course, I'm talking about Jeremy Poper and Ryan Poper, who has hit the scene. It's just been really lucky to have them. Speaking of legends in the sport, I want to take a moment and introduce Justin Smith. Justin, our race director this weekend, but the brainchild truly behind this whole idea with Junior Nationals. So I just want to let's start with this. How did you come up with this idea?
We came up with this idea because juniors have had little absence in recognition overall. So with the blend, always in amateur and pro-am racing, we feel like we needed to put the spotlight on them. So with this, we tried to come together, figure out what we could do to bring junior racing to a next level. That's where the Olympic Training Center came in. And the Olympic Training Center and the Paralympic Center really helped us take it to that next level. When you say legend, I am not the legend. The legend stands right here next to me, and that is Dale from Dale's Jet Sports. We're very blessed to have much tenure and talent that surrounds us, not only with Dawn, but others in the industry. And so for that, we have all come together to do it for these kids, for Team USA. And that's why we're all here today.
Man, I so appreciate that, and thank you so much for introducing Dale as well. Dale, your name, and of course, Dale Jet Sports, has really been synonymous for so many years with fast boats, but you also have a true spirit of racing. Well, don't you go too far. They're shuffling. I love it. So I really wanted to just embrace that thought, because I've always thought that you really, truly encompass this idea, keep the soul in the sport and keep the love in the sport. Say more about that.
I've been behind the scenes doing all the races, not really into the races. We have built products, and I'm glad that Justin's bringing all these juniors back to do it, because it brings all new faces. I'm having to learn all these new faces. It's really great.
It is pretty fun.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh, very cool. And I'm gonna pass this over. Don't you go? You don't have to flip. we'll just make sure you guys are in the camera. I wanted to ask you too, Justin. Like, we just got started this year, but obviously you've got bigger dreams. Where do we want to go? Where do we want to go next?
Next, in the next level, we'll really bring the international aspect into all of our junior and youth racing. So as we've developed this new youth elite class to recognize our 16 and 17-year-old age group, we look to expand our boundaries and take that same class outside of the USA borders. So we're going to welcome all the other countries that compete with us in IGSBA, as well as look to try and do something very special in 2024 that recognizes all of the athletes from Team USA, as well as the representing countries in the future.
Perfect. I don't know if I could do any better than that one. My final piece of this takes a lot of time and effort. I know a lot of people behind the scenes were working on this, but from your heart to our ears, how do you feel about this weekend and how it's unfolding?
Really hard work behind the scenes is definitely a lot of back channel work, a lot of work from a lot of people. As we like to say, it takes a lot of small pebbles to make this thing go. But the people behind the scenes would be my wife, who is not here, but definitely a big support group, allows me to come out here and do what we need to do. Also behind the scenes, many of our sponsors that have come together and really helped these kids be recognized, where they have an opportunity to not only compete, but compete for sponsorships and recognition in the United States.
Awesome. And Dale, for you, expectations versus reality, how are you feeling about this weekend and watching it unfold?
The kids are awesome. They are the best. They're making us look like terrible riders, and they look like pros. They're fantastic to watch. I'm getting bird's eye view in the tower watching this, and it's just the best. So the kids are great.
And you just made my day. I think not just that, but the funnest part for me, and I'm hoping I'm speaking for you guys as well, is it's not just the competition, it's all the fun behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
It is just the best to see these mile-high grins and just how much fun they're having. And also, just a huge shout-out to Riversport OKC for opening their hearts and their facility for us. We really appreciate everything you've done. Any final words? I'll start with you.
I don't have any final words. Just I hope we all have a good time and don't get hurt.
Yeah, okay.
How about you?
Final words for me would be, if you have a junior racer that is out there in the United States, we would welcome them at any time. There are many sanctioning bodies out there that have jet ski racing going on. We'd like to work together. So if you have a jet ski racing scene in your area, I encourage you to give it a shot, and we hope to see you soon on the Naughty Water.
Oh, that was perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, my final thing is I want to say a special shout out to Tony Vo, his family, and also the fact that his dreams too are coming true, and that is the ability to continue to grow jet ski racing. And Tony Vo, thank you and Jet Tribe for being a part of that. Well, that's a wrap for me. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You bet. We'll be right back after even more cool stuff. You're watching Junior Nationals right here in Oklahoma City. And Britton, how'd you get involved with racing?
My dad has always done it, and so he's always been involved with jet skiing, and then I kind of saw that he was, and I wanted to try it, and so I got into racing.
Oh, that is very cool. Who's your dad?
Matt.
Matt Reinhardt?
Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's kind of famous. So, advice that your dad gives you that you think is best advice, like what's his best advice ever?
Just have fun and try your best, and if you don't win, then have a positive attitude and stuff.
Well, that's pretty perfect, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Do you have a pre-race routine that you do?
Yeah, so I just try to stay positive in my mind and tell myself good things, and then just once I look at the track, then I keep going through it in my head.
Well, that's very important, visualization.
Yeah.
We talked about that. Yeah, that's amazing. Do you have sponsors?
Yeah.
Who?
I'd like to thank my parents first. They do a lot for me because I wouldn't be able to do this if I wouldn't have my parents. And then also Jet Trim, TC Freeride, Go Fast Girls, Mojave Block, Masonry and more, and a couple of other sponsors.
Brittany, you got a good stable of sponsors there, young lady.
Thanks.
I noticed, are those Vans? Are you wearing Vans?
Yep.
That would make a great sponsor.
Oh yeah, true.
You should reach out to those guys. So if you were going to talk Vans into being a sponsor, what would you say about yourself?
I'm positive, I'm a good racer, and I appreciate my sponsors and what they do for me.
I couldn't have said that better myself. That was beautiful. Describe racing and the feeling of racing.
So just being out there on the track makes you feel really good and like you accomplished something in life. And I don't know, it just makes you feel like really good.
Do you feel like it helps you with your family and also helps you in school?
Yeah, because so like at the races or like practice, I feel like my family can like come down and watch and we can just talk to each other about it.
So you think your family's closer because of this?
Yeah.
Say why.
Because like at races when we come here, we obviously travel to get together, and then it's just a lot of fun having them here.
I like that about it. I think the favorite
Yeah.
part. Okay, if you could pick any one racer that you'd like to be like, who would it be?
That's a hard one to say. Probably, well, I look up to River Varner. I like her and Reese Geis.
Both amazing. So how'd you get the name Annabella? Is that something from your mom and dad and your family, or?
My mom liked Isabella, but she wanted to change it up, so she put Annabella.
Well, it's quite beautiful.
Thank you.
What got you started in racing?
My dad has always been in the racing industry, so my cousin, he actually got me in racing. He was a pro motocross racer, so I did motocross
Welcome to the
until
first
I
ever
was, I think, 11. I've done it all my life, but
Welcome
I
to the
started jet
first-
ski racing because I seen Coy Curtis on TV, so I said I wanted to be like that.
Oh, that is amazing. What's your favorite part of racing?
The adrenaline.
I don't disagree. Okay, cool. On the track, do you have a special part of the track that you really like?
The splits.
Why?
Leaning over, it gets me excited.
There is something quite magical about that, right? When you know you've done a really good run through there.
Yeah.
So, if you gave advice to somebody that was brand new in this industry, what advice would you give about racing?
For their first race, not to be too nervous because it could really mess you up, and to have fun and try your best. You don't always win, so just to try your best out there because it's your first time.
So, do you have sponsors you want to thank?
Yes. Maxima, Go Fast, Naughty Shine, Next Generation Racing, 60 Helmets, Jet Pilot, USA, and everyone else, thank you.
Very cool. Awesome. Final thing, prep for this week. What are you prepping? What are you doing to prep for this week's racing?
Well, I can't ride too much because I'm coming back from an injury, but we're getting hydrated and making sure my muscles, no arm pump. We're getting ski ready. We've been testing for the past month out here, and just to stay calm for Tuesday.
This is it. Make this the summer you go for more. More adventure, more fun, more time outdoors. Plan your trip to Riversport OKC and get ready to check off your bucket list. Ziplining? Check. Whitewater rafting, tubing, and surfing? Check. A 6-story ropes course and even indoor skiing? Check and done. From getting on the water to reaching for the sky, make this the summer you go for more at Riversport. Downtown OKC and online at riversportokc.org.
Welcome to the first ever Leisure Pools IJSBA Junior Nationals right here in Oklahoma City. Our spectacular racing venue is Riversport OKC, a U.S. Olympic and Paralympic training site for rowing, canoeing, and kayaking. Riversport opened its first boathouse in 2006, welcoming people at all levels of sport, including Olympic hopefuls, to train on the Oklahoma River. This venue welcomes 250,000 visitors every year and works as a nonprofit, with proceeds going to underserved youth, adaptive athletes, military veterans, and seniors. This incredible organization equips them with the opportunity to participate in a variety of water sports for both recreation and competition. Located in Oklahoma City's Boathouse District, Riversport is just a short walk away from vibrant Bricktown, filled with shops, hotels, music venues, and eateries. And the fun doesn't stop after the racing. Junior racers and their families will have access to all of the offerings at Riversport this weekend, including whitewater rafting, tubing, surfing, esports, and more. Hey, you guys, welcome back to the Junior Nationals here at Riversport OKC. The Junior Nationals, of course, brought to you by Leisure Pools and Jet Tribe. And isn't it just so perfect that not only are they amazing sponsors, but they also have kids racing today. Just a shout out to both of them. Andrew Vo, good luck in your racing. And also Ryan Poper, good luck with your racing as well. But that, to me, absolutely exemplifies what junior racing is all about, and actually jet ski racing. The fact that it's generational. And speaking of generational, we also are handling all kinds of new age groups as well. 8 to 9 is going to be coming out first. You're going to get a chance to watch them in just a few moments. We are coming into our third and final motos for today's round, to include a grand championship opportunity of the Ski Lights division, and that's going to be the top 2 winners in both race 2, race 3, and race 4. So that's the 12-13, 14 to 15, and the 16 and 17-year-olds. We're giving them all an opportunity to race. So all that action coming right at you at the Junior Nationals right here in Riversport, OKC. And down on the line, getting the opportunity to watch those first racers get lined up on race number 1. And as we take a look down, it is boat number 41 lined up, as well as boat 116. That's Jonah Jacobson down on the line, along with one of the greatest stories, and that is the Daisy boat coming in. You can actually see these riders coming down there. That's Ryan Stevens and his daughter making her debut down here for her first race ever this weekend. That is Eliana Ministroke Stevens. They're both out of Mansfield, Ohio. And the story behind that boat is absolutely one of the coolest things ever. One of the young racers actually donated this boat. And when she did, we used that boat that Ellie is on. We used it for a Junior Stars event down in Florida. And Ellie actually wanted to ride this boat, but what was so cool about it when we used it at the Junior Stars, the young lady that rode it, her name was Sophie, and she was definitely no taller than the handlebar. So they wanted to name the boat so she wouldn't be so nervous, so we called it Daisy. Well, fast forward to 2023, and you've got young Ellie Stevens on this boat, and she wanted to ride the boat for the competition, and Junior Stars donated it to her for this weekend with the caveat that she gets to decorate the boat. So if you take a look down at that yellow boat right in the middle, in honor of young Sophie, who rode it at Junior Stars for the first time, they actually designed that boat after Daisy. So there is the story inside the story of this start. And again, boat number 116, Jonah Jacobson down there, Ellie Stevens down there, Christian Bain also on the line, Ty Smith and Felix Murienko. And wow, great start for, looks like a 405 boat, Christian Bain. Christian on borrowed property today, the 41 boat, but that's actually Christian Bain with the whole shot. And Ellie Stevens in second, and Jonah Jacobson back in third. And there's your top three riders. And by the way, in this age division, both 8 and 9 and the 10 and 11, they can ride in the tray, and they also are allowed multiple holders. And they actually did, it looks like they split this division. So this is just going to be the 8 and 9-year-olds in this third and final moto. Let's talk a little bit about the points right now. Coming into this final round with back-to-back wins, Christian Bain currently in the lead, and that also is the gentleman that got the whole shot. He's out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and he's already got a pair of aces out of the start. He's exactly 9 years old. He was born in September. And he said he built the boat by himself, him and his dad, Rob Crow. Rob, of course, another great racer. And just a kind of a fun little side story, Christian actually and his dad raised Black Angus. His whole family races Black Angus cattle. And not just any kind of Black Angus cattle. We're talking high-end, gorgeous show cows. So kind of a cool little side story for this gentleman and his family. You're watching Christian Bain, who rocked this whole shot and now is got a pretty good lead on that second place rider, and that is Ellie Stevens, nicknamed Mini Stroke. Now, there's a story even inside that story. Short Stroke is her dad, Ryan Stevens, who just started racing a couple of years ago, and I think it's super fun to be able to not only see Ryan out there on the track, but he said, I wanted to take a back seat to my daughter being able to race as well. And I don't know if you had a chance to follow them on social media, but what a fun family and a great father-daughter story that not only does the dad race, but the daughter now is getting into it as well. So your top two riders, Christian Bain and Ellie Stevens, and Jonah Jacobson out there as well. Jonah Jacobson out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, one of the longest drives to get here. His boat built by his dad and his uncle Sean. And he said, I wanted to race the number 116 boat because that's for Romans 1:16. For I am not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of God for salvation to everyone who believes. So he actually has a very spiritual side to him as well in his racing. That's the gentleman in third place, Jonah Jacobson. Your race leader, Christian Bain, says he loves attending jet ski races, but he dislikes it when the ski breaks. Christian, I think we can all relate to that, my friend. But what a great quote. You're watching your race leader, Christian Bain. And a good race going for Miss Ellie. Ellie's got a 4.61 second deficit behind the first place rider. And you can even hear, I'm sure, over the microphone, all of the cheering for this incredible group of kids. Christian normally rides race number 405 because he says that's the area code for OKC. Oh my gosh. And that also said that was his dad's race number as well. Christian's a two-time regional champion. And let's talk a little bit of the technicalities of what you're watching on the screen. Now, you notice that none of the kids in this first race are actually standing up. So when you're running the 8 to 9 year olds, the idea here is for us, safety, community, family, and supporting the riders, be very comfortable and confident. So we want to make sure that they are very comfortable. So we put them on their knees, let them ride on their knees as long as they want to. If they want to stand during the race, they can. But the idea is that they learn how to handle the boat and learn how to handle this track, and also making sure that they're learning awareness of the other riders as well. So the more comfortable that they are, and the more stable they are on the boats, that just makes it for a more fun race and also a safer race. So that's what we do, is we just keep them on their knees, let them ride through there. That also makes that boat very stable. So you notice how they keep that handle pole all the way down flush to the boat. That creates more stability for it. And I hope you guys can hear the crowd shouting for him. One of the funner parts of the race today. And jet ski language, as I mentioned earlier, for a lot of people that are on the stream, they actually know this, but for those of you that are new, if you come up on those red buoys, it's a left-hand turn. So you have to have your boat on the left-hand side as well. And if you come up on the yellow buoys, it is a right-hand turn for the riders. And that's also a great way for them to teach it. Jonathan McCreary, I love me some Ryan Stevens. That is so true, Jonathan. Thanks for sharing. And then Justin James, oh my gosh, thanks for joining us on the live stream, sir. I wish the boys knew about it too, but we're doing it again next year. But James Gang Racing, you got to be down here in 2024. We'll just make that happen for you. Again, you're watching 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds out on the track. And Christian Bain works his way through. He's actually aboard the 4-1. That's not his normal race number. Christian Bain going through quite comfortably. He's going to take the inside split, and it looks like Ellie Stevens following him through that inside. The split section is always kind of fun in a couple of different ways. It allows the riders to actually get some clean water. So if you're really running up close and you've got a crowd of people that you're trying to work your way around, and you can get into a split section and pick that other side of the track to get through, that'll definitely help. Congratulations to Christian Bain taking the win, and that is a hat trick. 3 wins right in a row, and he just pulled it off, and he was actually the first to do so. So again, a couple of different number one stops for him. Taking the win and taking 3 in a row. Congratulations to Christian Bain. In second, Eliana, or Ellie Stevens, a.k.a. Mini-Stroke. Rounding out your top 3, Jonah Jacobson. You were just watching the 8 to 9. And by the way, they just did 4 laps. Up next is going to be the Ski Lights 10 to 11 Moto. And this is going to be Felix Mironenko and Ty Smith on the line. And we got an opportunity to catch up with Ty Smith in that live interview. And what a firecracker he is. All right, so again, Ty Smith and Felix Mironenko. And Felix Mironenko actually taking the win in Moto number 2. So these guys are coming into this with a flat-out tie. Felix with a second place in Moto 1 and a first place in Moto 2, and Ty won Moto 1. Felix got second. So this is going to be a critical race to see who takes the overall. And pole position is going to be UA7 or Felix, since he got the win in Moto 2. We're going to line him up that way. And Felix will be on the pole on the inside, and Ty Smith will be on the outside. Felix, originally from Kharkiv, Ukraine, but right now lives down in Flower Mound, Texas. 11 years old. He said his dad actually built the boat, and that number is his lucky number. He said that got him the podium back when he was racing in go-karts in the Ukraine. And right now he's using it again in the Ski Lights division. So it's going to be a two-stroke class. He's sponsored by TCS Marine and Works and H2O Designs. And this is a new for him. His very first race was just May 2022. Could see his dad down there holding for him. Ty's got his whole family down there helping. And this has been an interesting year for racing, and the fact that we're at a very brand new venue has provided some unique excitement, but also challenges for us. Now, the Oklahoma City River, actually this huge tributary, is a mecca for all kinds of water sport events. And of course, River Sport OKC truly celebrating the love of water. I love their mission. We inspire excellence, enhance communities, and change lives through Olympic sports and outdoor urban adventures. River Sport Foundation was actually a 501c3 nonprofit organization that actually offers Olympic and outdoor adventure sports and recreational programs via locations throughout downtown Oklahoma City in the Boathouse District. And that's where we are located today. And just some of the things that you can do here. They've got sky slides, a sky zip, Nordic adventures, bike park, youth zone, even esports. And if you're not jealous yet, you should be, because all of the friends and family and the kids are actually able to use the entire facilities throughout the weekend. So it's not just about racing for them, nor should it be, right? Like, they embody the spirit of fun. They're also able to take advantage of all of these different really cool activities here at Riversport OKC. And just a huge shout out and thank you to our incredible hosts and this truly magical, it's nothing short of magical venue. All right, right down here at the docks as these guys are staging. And you can see it's pretty tight quarters down there. So very wisely, Justin Smith and the race crew put together the plan of making sure that we ran through one complete series so that we weren't trying to get all of the racers in and out because we just have the one dock really to work with. So we've actually split up our weekend. So we're going to finish up our motos today for these 6 classes, and then we will bring you a brand new set of classes for tomorrow's races. Hey, Kenny Wong, thank you so much for your great feedback. I really appreciate it. And while we're getting ready, let's do a real quick catch-up with this little hot shot. Christian Bain, did you know that you just pulled off a hat trick?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it is not easy to get 3 wins in a row. So tell me how you're feeling right now.
I feel good.
Well, you look good. You look like you're ready to rock. What are you going to do after this? Are you going to play in the different areas with Riversport? Are you going to go rafting, or what else are you going to do today?
I don't know, just sit around.
Hang out with your friends?
Yeah.
Who's your best friend?
Felix.
Really? He looks like he's pretty fun. Are you guys going to get in trouble?
Maybe.
Are you going to tell me about the trouble you're getting into?
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's totally fibbing right now. Tell me about your sponsor, sir.
My mom and dad, Showtime Freestyle. What was the other sponsor?
I know, but they're really good, I'm sure. Is this your mom over here? Because she's probably a sponsor.
She's my grandma.
Oh, that's grandma. Even better sponsor.
Mom and grandma. And I think the other sponsor was
I'll figure it out for you. Is that okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, you're the best. I could probably find it on your rider sheet, and I'll make sure. But I think Jet Tribe's probably a big sponsor too, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jet Tribe. Christian Bain, you're amazing. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll talk to you more soon, and I'll probably see you on the winners platform because you really smoked it.
Okay.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Bye, buddy.
Bye.
Bye. All right, back to it as we get ready to go. Best interview ever. That was Christian Bain, the gentleman that just took the win in your 8-9 moto. He is rowdy, so rowdy. I'm pretty sure I can talk him into going and doing the whitewater raft at the rapids or something. Again, we're just getting ready for our staging in our next race. This is going to be that 10 to 11 moto, and it looked to me like they were just doing a super quick adjustment on the track. That's the only reason we had a little delay on this. And I just want to thank all you guys truly for listening on the live stream. I'm sure you're aware of the impact of what is happening this weekend down here in Oklahoma City. For the first time ever, we are doing an entire venue and event just for juniors, and we're doing it on a national scale. And as you heard Justin Smith talking about it, they are taking that to a global scale, and we certainly hope to be right back here. In fact, you're looking at this gorgeous building right now. That's where we're broadcasting out of, that beautiful building. And man, talk about an incredible venue. You could see the building right on the corner. One of the cameras is actually located there, but that's not the only camera. What you're watching right now is full-on outstanding drone footage that we've had all day long. And then we have cameras all along, stationary actually, all along the riverfront. A lot of that is because this venue is a Paralympic venue, and this venue actually is a huge truly a huge venue for some incredible sporting events. Let me just run down a few of them. The 2016 U.S. Olympic Team Trials and Whitewater Slalom was held here. 2016 U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee Road to Rio, all of that happened here. The 2018 National Paddle Sports Retail Show, the 2021 International Canoe Federation Canoe Sprint Super Cup with 20 countries hosted right here. The 2022 Red Bull Rapids, which I think you guys saw, also hosted right here. It is just an amazing, amazing place and an amazing venue. They includes a Thrive Outside Youth Outreach as well, so they're very supportive of youth competition and youth racing. Anyway, talking about Riversport OKC as we get ready to go. And you can see these guys staging. I did get a chance to talk to some of the holders yesterday because I was curious. Generally, at the bottom of these boat ramps, would you do a start right at the bottom? I don't know about you, but I have found that it could be pretty slick in that area doing that start. We got a chance to talk to them about it, but they said no, that the ground was actually quite stable for them. I tell you what, we're going to be right back, and we'll give you even more information on this race.
This is it. Make this the summer you go for more. More adventure, more fun, more time outdoors. Plan your trip to Riversport OKC and get ready to check off your bucket list. Zip lining? Check. Whitewater rafting, tubing, and surfing? Check. A 6-story ropes course and even indoor skiing? Check and done. From getting on the water to reaching for the sky, make this the summer you go for more.
All right, we are back. This is the start for the Ski Lights 10 to 11 Moto, race number 1. And a great start from Ty Smith. And by the way, this is the battle to break this tie. Both of these riders coming in with the equal number of points. Ty Smith knew what he needed to do, rocked the whole shot, but Felix Mirienko is definitely going to be putting a ton of pressure on him. And you can see as these guys come out of that start section and into the option, I'm very curious to see what Ty Smith does. He does pick that inside split. And Felix follows him, but Felix with a unusual error going down on the side of that boat. And unfortunately, that is going to push Felix back on the time and force a lot of pressure on Felix Mirienko to get back up there and get close enough to get an overtake on Ty Smith. A very costly mistake on lap 1 for Felix Mirienko. The gentleman tied in your Ski Light 10 to 11 Moto, and this is 10 seconds. 12.12 is what separates them now, but as they came out of that start, they were within 2 boat lengths, so a very tough break for Felix. This is your final set of motos for today's racing, and what a beautiful start for Ty Smith out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Gentleman sponsored by Go Fast. And a race number on the side of his was an interesting story. You know, 515 was the number that they had on the side of that boat when they bought it. He just didn't change it because he said, I started winning with that number and I just didn't want to change the number. That seems to be working pretty well. I like that strategy. This boat was built by Go Fast US. Of course, the Girello name synonymous with very fast machines. And got a chance to see Seb Girello competing for the first time out of the country over in Poland just a couple of weeks ago. Incredible experience for that gentleman that started as a junior racer and now has moved up in the pro divisions. You're watching Ty Smith on the track, who says his favorite music is 80s rock, wait for it, and also old school rap. That is an interesting playlist choice, my friend. His goal to be a pro ski GP world champion, and you're watching Ty Smith, and I have to say, look how he sets up that pivot buoy or option buoy. You can actually tell he's going to take that inside split just from the body language and his position on the boat in that split section. And here's another interesting riding difference, right? We've talked about being very physical or riding with a lot of finesse. Ty, to me, is a fascinating hybrid to watch. He can be very physical as a young rider, but look how quiet he is on the boat right now. So under pressure, or if he's really needing to make a move, I've seen him become very physical. But right now, this is classic, to me, quiet, finesse, smooth, and all of that is going to translate into faster laps, and it's going to translate into longer race times because he's truly managing not only the resources of the boat, but he's managing his physical resources as well, right? When you ride that quietly, you're just not adding all that stress to your body. So this is a very mature, to me, very mature ride style when I get an opportunity to see a racer like this run a hybrid race style. He moves through that inside split section, and you can see Felix right at the top of the screen trying to pick up some time. He was 10 seconds back, but Felix, a very quick rider as well. Keeping that handle pole low to the ski. The idea here, again, maintain as much stability as you want. And you see how quiet he is on the turn, though? Just doesn't over-exaggerate anything. Give you time here between these two riders in just a second. Now that is your long stretch. It's the back stretch, but it is also the start. And they have not one, not two, but 3 times they have to go in and jog in and pick up a right-hand turn. And the final portion of that is, to me, deceptively technical, where they have to pick up a double. Oh, man, this drone footage is just spectacular. And you can see the splits. This is the inside split. 6 buoys on the split section. So they're forcing them to really learn a slalom course. And then those 2 white buoys, that is their merged, go past that checkered flag, and then they're going to pick up a big high-speed turn. Beautiful run by Ty Smith. Congratulations on this final moto win, and he is going to take the overall today in Ski Light's 10 to 11 moto. Beautifully done for this gentleman out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Crowds down there giving him a lot of love as we stage it for our next race. And this is going to be a big Class 7 racers are on the line. Let's talk a little bit about the points as we take a look down It is Britton Reinhardt with a pair of aces in her pocket, and she gets ready to go, and she's got the honors to work that pole position. Karis Webster will be second, or actually you get to pick where you are in the start. It looks like Karis moved to not be right second off the line. She's moved to possibly going to be on the outside, but she is second in points. Knox Ritchie is also second, tied for Rich, and he's on boat number 99. And then also out there in fourth is Tristan Hebert on the 41 boat, Kylie Meyer in fifth on the 529 boat. It looks like Kylie's lined up second on that lineup. And then boat 139, Abby Weldon lined up third. And then boat number 27, that's Trent Cornett, who's lined up fourth on the line. So your top points riders, with the exception of Britton Reinhardt, have lined up towards the outside. So there are two interesting places that you want to be from a strategy perspective. If you can get the pole position, that's sort of an obvious, right? You want to get that pole if you can. But if you can't do that, one of the Cinderella spots, it can really work for you or drastically against you, because geometry being what it is, closest line between A to B is going to be the line that you want to take. But the outside sometimes offers these riders clean water. And that clean water, the ability to not get caught in the pack and bunched up too much. Or it also can help avoid bouncing into each other on the boats on the start. So sometimes that outside can be the secret sauce, and I do believe that's what happened is Karis Webster and Knox Ritchie, both of them have lined up towards that outside, and that could and has often converted into a hole shot. We'll see if that strategy pays off for our young riders. You're watching Ski Lights 12 to 13. This is going to be race number 2. Another thing I want to point on this race through race number 4 is also going to be your qualifying for the Grand Championship. So we're going to take the 2 top riders out of here, and then we're going to take the 2 top riders out of the Ski Lights 13 to 14, and then we're going to take the 2 top riders out of 16 and 17. That's all Ski Lights class, and we're going to put them in a Grand Championship face-off. So that'll be our final race of the day today. Get an opportunity to see some pretty amazing drone footage and also the rover cam, but 6 different cameras set up, a huge switcher. We've got 2 producers and several camera operators to include a very specialized drone operator. By the way, the crew behind us is equally as impressive as the equipment we're dealing with. A lot of these guys have worked directly with ESPN, PGA. I am name dropping, not on purpose, but so we've got a highly specialized crew behind us that have worked with some extremely high visible and highly technical production events. So we're quite blessed this weekend with this caliber of talent. Temperatures today, we were expecting some high winds this afternoon. Thus far, we've been blessed with just breeze, but nothing too drastic. The entire weekend also quite temperate for Oklahoma City in the summer. We're looking at mid-80s to upper 80s, which was interesting when I looked at the 30-day forecast. It was fascinating how quick it went from the 80s to the 90s. So we do have an interview coming up, but not quite yet. We're going to get this start first, and then we'll shoot to an interview, and we'll get some feedback on how awesome that track was. Again, you're watching the riders get prepped for Ski Light 12 to 13 Moto. Now, some things have changed from the first couple of motos you watched. These guys are now going to be operating. They must start with one holder only, and they must start off to the side of the boat. And as you can see, they get their knee in that boat on the start. Britton Reinhardt with a great start. But I got to say, I think that opportunity to work that outside might have been the secret. And red flag is up. So Britton Reinhardt did actually have a good start, but there were some pretty throttle-happy folks down on that lineup, so we'll see what happens with that. Just to recap on why a red flag would come out. There are several reasons why we could have a red flag. I will say that the most common one is jumping the line. Premature acceleration is what I call it. Never good in any sport. But anyway, premature acceleration, that means you jump the line or you go too fast before the line snaps. The second reason you could get a red flag is if the riders are not holding their lines. And I know it's kind of hard to visualize if you're just watching jet ski racing, but if you could imagine, each one of these racers has a lane, and they must maintain that lane all the way down as close as possible to that first turn. So about midway, if you've got a long start, but on a short start like that, I'm pretty sure the race director told them you got to hold your line to that first turn. So you got to hold your line. If you move over too soon, you could get penalized for that, and sometimes they'll pull you back on a red flag. The third reason is if we've got some kind of crazy thing going out on the track. We've had buoys. I've seen crazy starts. Manatees on the water. I've seen it where we had a cruise ship come across the racetrack. That'll cause a red flag. Let's see other stuff. If we got riders down for whatever reason, that could cause a red flag. If you see riders go, like a rider go off the boat, but we don't start, generally we won't do it unless there is some kind of a penalty where the riders were connecting, or we have an entire line going down, and I have seen that as well on a red flag. So those are generally the reasons. Here is that instant replay on the start. And I don't know if we're going to have any penalties on that. Sean will probably sneak over here and let me know. All right, yeah, so that really was the second. It wasn't the jump in the start. It was actually three riders not holding their line on the start, and that is what caused the false start. So they are going to put them back on the line. And you can actually see some of the crossover happening. Great replay, by the way, great instant replay. So that is just exactly what I was talking about. We got to have those riders be able to hold their line all the way through that first turn. And we've got them back down on there. Doesn't look like they are going to call penalties. They just want to make sure that they learn. Another thing I love about junior racing, and that seemed like a pretty good start. Britain had a great start, but it looks like she bobbled just a little bit. Cavitation is what we call that. That's where that intake grate unhooks from the water. It causes the boat to launch upward, and that actually might have been a little bit of a problem. However, despite all of that, I think Britain might have got the whole shot. Let's take a look. Britain, Reinhardt, with the whole shot. Looks like Abby Weldon up in third. All right, again, 8:51, Britain Reinhardt out of Lake Havasu City. And she came screaming through that option buoy and into the outside split. Oh, man, another red flag. You know, that's the first time I've seen that today. And we've run, gosh, what is it now? We're on race number 2. We've run almost 14 races, and I have yet to see a double red flag, but we do have a second red flag on the track, so we are going to bring him back in. It's unusual to see them get all the way down to the split section before they have to call him back on a red flag, but when you see that, that means that the officials were probably looking at the footage to see if there was something crazy going on. I'm going to be very curious to see what the penalty was on that, if that was premature acceleration or, in fact, if that was, once again, not holding your line. Now, it was so fun talking to Justin Smith and Rob Crow and the other race officials yesterday, because one of the things that they specifically said is we are not about doing red flags just to penalize the riders. Our entire focus here is that the rider not only get an opportunity to race at a world-class venue, but that they get an opportunity to truly learn. And one of that is the starts. Starts are so critical. Take a look at this replay. You know, at first it looked like everybody held their line, but I am seeing a bit of crossover, and there might have been just a bit of a jump as well. We'll see what the official call is. That is your start with Britain Reinhardt. Once again, not holding the line. So that's a two for Tuesday on not holding lines. So again, all of that being about giving him an opportunity to correct that. Yeah, if you want me to, I can. Okay. Oh, awesome. All right, I'm back down here with a gentleman that knew he had all of the marbles on the line on moto number 2, came into this round with a tie with his riding buddy Felix, and you knew you had a big job to do. Ty, tell me about that race.
So I got a first, but in the second moto, I sucked some stuff up, so that obviously made me get a second place. So then the points were tied up, and I knew this race is for all the marbles.
It really was. Do you feel additional pressure, and how do you handle that?
Oh, a lot of pressure. If I lose, I probably will not be that happy at all, and my dad probably won't be happy either, because we came all the way out here, and I lost just by a few points.
Well, but you know, that stuff happens. You've got a pretty awesome haircut. What's happening with this cool haircut here?
We do not know yet.
Best interview ever. Tell me some of your sponsors, sir.
Some of my sponsors are Go Fast. He is probably one of the best mechanics ever. Liquid Moly, probably one of the best oil companies.
I know, so many.
Yeah. LS2 helmets. Have really nice helmets.
Is this one of them right here? Because this is gorgeous.
This is one of them.
Yeah, that thing is beautiful. All right, well, thank you, sir. We got to get back to it because they're starting again. Ty, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome, bud. All right, he whole shot it out of here even. Let's see what happens on this third start and if they got it under control. It looks like Knox Ritchie followed by Britt Reinhardt on your top 2. So again, Knox Ritchie, after sorting all of that out, looks like he is going to have that whole shot. Beautiful start for Knox Ritchie, who had to come up through the pack in some of these prior races. Knox Ritchie goes to the outside. And Britt Reinhardt going to follow him through the outside split. And then it is boat number 127. I do believe that is Trent Cornett in third. So again, your top 3 once again. Knox Ritchie, who came into this in a tie for third. Actually was in a tie for second with Karis Webster. And Karis did not get that great of a start. Let's see where Karis Webster is in this mix. Top 2 riders, Knox Ritchie and Britt Reinhardt. And I am wondering if Karis actually isn't on borrowed property. Because I am not seeing the 210 out here, which is surprising. So I'll get back to you on that one, on the 127, because I see the 27 boat out there, and that is Trent Cornett, and he's back in 5th. And he is battling Tristan Hebert. So 41 and 27 right in that. But I think it might be Karis Webster on borrowed property back in 3rd on the 127 boat. And again, no penalty. This is going to be a 6-lap race. And yes, Karis Webster was on the 127. I just got a confirmation on that. Thank you, guys. So again, your top 3. Knox Ritchie, who just broke the tie. If he holds on to that, that is going to give him an opportunity to move past Karis Webster for that second place spot. Meanwhile, Britton Reinhardt with a pair of aces. Even if she holds on to that second place, she will be your overall winner. Knox Ritchie will be second, and Karis Webster will round out your podium. Unofficially, of course, by the way. All of these are going to be unofficial. Oh, Lance Vincent shouting out for Knox Ritchie. Arthur Kwasik, thanks for joining us on the live stream. Appreciate you guys all being here for us, and what a great run we've got going here, and a beautiful start from Knox Ritchie, and that is going to capitalize in an opportunity to move his way up onto this podium. He's a 7th grade student, and that boat that he is riding was built by his dad, and look how quick he works his way through these buoys. This is riding to the edge for a gentleman that knows he's got to get some points on the board. He says he loves to ride one-wheeler, skateboards, surf, wakeboard, and plays the guitar. And I gotta say, I am intrigued by his choice of music, but Britton Reinhardt, not as impressed with his choice of music, comes from the inside and moves into the lead. Knox, by the way, loves rap music, but right now I don't think he liked the fact that that young lady just passed him. Britton Reinhardt is now in the lead, but a great defense play from Knox Ritchie, trying to hold her off from the outside, just was unable to do it on that lap. So again, Britton Reinhardt, your new race leader, and Knox Ritchie in second. What a beautiful move. She definitely rapped on his door. Yes, worst pun ever day. I feel like I'm taking the win, but feel free to try to out-pun me on the live stream. You're watching your top 2 riders. What a beautiful run that is. Britton Reinhardt as she comes through. Reinhardt's going to go to the inside. Ritchie's going to follow her. And that's your first and second place. Whoa, she almost had a spin. She corrected it, and that even turned into a minor error, but it could have been a drastic problem. Britton Reinhardt managed to correct, and that was a beautiful move on that light boat. By the way, these light boats are 2-stroke engines, provides a little bit more of a wildcat action, if you can just imagine. They're just a little easier to, gosh, what's the best way for me to say this? Spin. You can spin them. You could lose that back end traction. Will actually spin them, and that's what she was trying to correct in that split section. She did a very nice job with that. Again, they're going to the outside split. That's what they've been working the last couple. And then she went to the inside. Right now she's on the back straight portion, and there is a high-speed double. And now she's got to decide. There's a lot of lap traffic in front of her. So Britton Reinhardt, which direction she chooses the outside, despite the fact that traffic was coming through on that outside as well. She is right behind boat number 27. That is Trent Cornell. And Britton Reinhardt is powering through that split. So working our way through lap traffic, you're watching boat number 951. And just some great racing. And congratulations to Britton Reinhardt for taking the win on that one. Knox Ritchie second. And Karis Webster third. And that will actually unofficially be how the podium plays out as well. Battle's not done, though, off of that backstretch. That's your battle for 4th and 5th, and it is pretty intense when you take a look out there at Tristan Heber and Trent Cornell. Looks like Tristan Hebert's going to come in 4th, and who knows on this 5th place spot because it's undecided. But Trent Cornell is side by side with, I believe that's Abby Weldon. Actually, check that. Yep, it's Abby Weldon, 139. Beautiful race between these top riders, but Tristan Hebert will take your 4th place. All right, you guys, we're watching race number 2. And again, what a cool pass from Britton Reinhardt. And here's a replay on that finish on race 2. And just watching how close that really was between Britton Reinhardt, who just skimmed through it, followed by Knox Ritchie. Beautiful ride for both these riders. That was your 12 to 13 class. We're going right back to more ski light racing, but now we're going up in age, 14 to 15, and this again, Moto number 3. Ryan Poper, also with a pair of aces coming into this. Tanner Wright, who has been putting on a clinic on how to put on pressure, in second has a pair of deuces. Gary Holbein Jr. with a pair of threes. And then after that, it starts to get shook up a little bit. But prior to that, Ryan, Tanner, and Gary have had exact same finishes in Moto 1, 2, and 3. Ryan on the pole position. Tanner Wright right next to him. And Super G, if you want, is that's his nickname, him and his dad. Down there, his dad, a pro rider. Used to ride for Factory Polaris, holding for him, and that's the gentleman on the 63 boat. Whoa, great start for Tanner Wright. Ryan Poper just a little behind on that first part of the start. Ryan's already putting pressure for second place. Meanwhile, Tanner Wright with a beautiful jump out of that gate. Oh, and unfortunately, it might have been just a little too beautiful. We'll see what happens on that one on the replay, but a great start for Tanner Wright and Ryan Poper, despite the fact that he was just a little asleep on the line. He had a beautiful comeback moving up into second, but again, all of that's not going to count. We're going to bring him back. We have a red flag on the track. Again, we're just seeing the replay here on that start. You know, it's hard to tell from here because you're not sure when the rubber band goes, but I mean, to me, that looked like great reaction time from Tanner, but we're going to have to wait for the race officials to see what that call was. All right, again, this is going to be a little bit dicey. I did not see, from, again, kind of not really the best perspective, but I did not see where they were crossing lanes. But it could have been premature acceleration. I'll wait for Sean to give us the official call. Down here with Britton Reinhardt, and before we get her on camera, I'm just gonna get some cool play-by-play action before we even put her on camera. We'll do the start, and then I'll do a quick interview with her. But since I got you down here, Britton, anyway, you had a couple of starts where you had to get the red flag, and then you came back. How does that feel from a racer perspective, and how do you handle that?
It just feels like devastating because you get the whole shot, and then he just gets red flagged. So
I hate that.
yeah. It's not the fun. It's not the greatest.
No, you did get penalized for it, right? Nobody got penalized, but what does it do in your head? What do you have to do to just like reset and then get ready for the next start?
You just gotta act like it's the first start, and you just have to get in your mind and tell yourself that you could do it.
Just stay focused, huh?
Yeah.
And again, I actually went out. No, I don't think we're. Oh, are we on camera? We're actually doing the interview. Putting me right to work here. Well, first off, congratulations. You actually came out second, and then did this gorgeous pass. You came from the inside, but I want you to break that down for the people watching. How'd that feel for you, and how'd you do that little setup?
So as you can tell, I got a bad start. So I just had to tell myself that I could do it and just like keep like focused. And I just took that inside split and got right beside him and passed him.
Yeah, you did beautiful, and then you stole the line away, which was even more sneaky.
Yeah.
And I was just talking about how he liked rap music, and then you rapped on that door. See what I did? I know, bad pun number 2 of the day. How did you get this quick Who taught you how to ride like this?
So I just got quick by practicing a lot at Body Beach like every night, and also from like Taylor at TC Freeride and my dad giving me tips and pointers.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, they're really working. Let's go back to the start as we get these guys ready to go. If you want to just hang with me for a minute, you're more than welcome to. We'll talk a little bit more. All right, that was Catching Up with Britton Reinhardt, who's a new champion for today. Also, that does qualify her instantly into going into the Grand Championship, which I think is happening today. I think we're going to do that Grand Championship round today as well. So don't go away. We're still waiting for 2 more qualifiers, so it'll be first and second. And each one of these classes is going to go into that Grand Championship light sprint class. All right, these guys confabbing down here on the line. You can see Gary Holbein Sr. talking to Super G. That's his son down there. Gary, by the way, as I had mentioned, he used to ride. He actually chased the national tour for many years. Just a outstanding individual. And then on top of that, has been working with his son the last several years. And, you know, first time I ever saw Super G, he actually, even as a very young rider, was very disciplined and very focused, which impressed me quite a bit, and even more so now when you watch him out on the track. Another gentleman that I think has got to be talked about is both Ryan Poper and Tanner Wright. The tour de force, if you will, on both of these motos prior to getting a chance to see this start once again. I just cannot tell if that was premature acceleration. It does look to me like they all held their line. But I think it is going to be a jump. Yeah, it actually was officially a jump. Okay, so premature acceleration is going to be what they were called for. All right, again, we're just doing a little quick standby there as we get them ready to go. Again, since I've got Britton here, I'm just going to put her on the spot and make her commentate with me. But from your position, is the pole position additional pressure, or do you come into that with, I got an ace in the pocket?
I feel like the pole position is good because you can just swoop the buoys and not have to not have everyone come over on you. So that's why I like the end position.
So let me ask you, if you don't have a good start, right, like, and you're not like in the top qualifying or whatever, and you're sort of in the mid pack of picking where you're going to be on the line, do you ever pick the outside, and if so, why?
I pick the outside because I feel like I can just, swoop those buoys and not have to let off. And again, no one will come over on me.
Yeah. So there you go. So that's, you said it way better than I did on strategy. Britton, describe for me, if you would, for people that have never been on a boat, what is it? Like, what's the addiction?
Well, technically, it's just a machine that you control and just go. But I feel like the addiction is it's just super fun and you can challenge yourself on it and move up to better skis.
Is it even more fun in a way that you're a girl, but you also get to race with the guys, or does it ever factor for you?
Well, I like it. I think it's pretty cool because, they say boys are faster, but then the girls can prove to them that the girls are faster.
Well, I think you're both fast. Yeah, I don't think it's gender specific, right? But I think it is kind of fun to. There's something different with racing with the guys, right?
Yeah, it gives you definitely more competition because you can push yourself harder to do better.
I like how aggressive, right? There's that you learn how to be aggressive, but professionally, right? Like aggressive without hurt, don't hurt anybody, but I want to learn how to get in and dig into turns.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, she does like that. Okay. I'm glad to hear. I was wondering because you struck me as that. What other stuff? Do you compete in anything else at all?
Like other sports?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do travel soccer, so I do that too, and then race jet skis.
But race jet skis is the best. Please tell me yes.
Oh, yeah, I like it way better.
Oh, thank goodness. All right, we are back. We're back to the, I just want to kind of catch up. I've got a co-commentator here, so I'm utilizing that opportunity. We are back to the water as we're just getting, I think, a little bit inside of the racer's head, which I'd really appreciate your insight on that, Britton. But again, back to this. To me, this is the worst part of a race, and I mean that with all sincerity. When you come into the water and you get set up for a start and then you have to come back and sit, it is, to me, the hardest to keep focused. And I think that for any, really almost any sport, when you're ready to go and you're amping your energy up for that moment and then getting put on pause, that is super tough for these riders. So my heart goes out to them in a lot of ways for having to sit there, but it's also great training because it really happens quite a bit in these upper upper venues and these bigger races across the world. Got a good start this time. Let's see if they're able to not get any penalties on this one. And it's going to be Tanner Wright once again and Ryan Poper in second. All right, so again, your top two is Tanner Wright and Ryan Poper. And look like Super G in third, and we do have a rider down. Oh, bummer. Unfortunately, that's Caden Schilling aboard OPP, Other People's Property. Looked like he was borrowing Karis Webster's boat. And that forced a correction. It looks like Super G up in fourth. So again, Tanner Wright with a hole shot. Ryan Poper in second. And I want to say Andrew Vo up in third. And then Super G is in fourth. That is Gary Holbein Jr. And there's your top four. And Gary Holbein almost getting around Andrew Vo on that big first full lap. So again, Tanner Wright, and got a repeat on that hole shot. You are watching the ski lights 14 to 15. Tanner Wright out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Moved there when he was 6 years old. He's an ancient 14 now. That boat built by TC Freeride. Also, he had some work done on that boat with Kyle Kennedy at Works Racing. Man, that is a little rocket ship. And you get an opportunity to see the great wrap on the side of that boat. Watching Tanner Wright. Well, that's a pretty turn he did as well. 3.90 is what separates Ryan Poper, your second place rider, from Tanner Wright, your current race leader in ski lights 14 to 15. This is going to be the final race of the day, and currently Ryan Poper in the lead in points. Tanner Wright needs this win to see if he can sneak up on points. I don't know with the two first place finishes if that's going to be enough to move him to the top of the podium, but he's done everything he needs to do. Now destiny, or fate, if you will, needs to step in, and that would be to have Ryan Poper push back in the pack. But right now, Ryan's in a perfect position to take the overall. He's got a second right now. Gary Holbein up in the fourth place spot. Outside split is what Tanner Wright is working. One-time world champion. His first race ever was in 2021. Gentleman that played soccer for 9 years. Oh my gosh. Now this is an interesting riding style. This is very reminiscent of a Victor Sheldon, actually, is who he reminded me of that. You don't see them dropping deep into the tray, and actually when we were riding the original 550s and 701s, not really necessary to drop down that low to maintain that high rate of speed. But I find it very interesting that Tanner is not dropping down deep into it. Alrighty, guys. So anyway, back to it. Ski lights 14 to 15 on this race 3, and Tanner Wright is still leading and trying to run those points down. Followed by Ryan Poper up in second. And then we've got still this battle happening for third and fourth, and Super G has moved into that third place spot. And I believe we've got a special guest coming up and joining us as well, as we get an opportunity to watch these guys. A gentleman that likes making things on his 3D printer, hanging out at the lake with his friends. Tanner Wright, out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona, with a big race going to be, I think this was also going to be a 6-lap race. And while you guys are watching this, I'm just going to catch up with this young lady a little bit who's been to an awful lot of races. Brittany Webster, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am outstanding. Thank you so much for being here. Lots happening at Commander Industries in 2023, and I heard rumors of an amazing new boat that hit the water. Do you want to share a little bit with me about that?
Yes, we are so excited to have our new hull out on the water, proudly made in the USA. All components are made here now, and we also changed our tooling. It's all CNC manufactured, infused products. So we're finding significant gains as far as the structural integrity, the fit, the finish, the build, and we're keeping the crew updated with our changes on our YouTube channel. So please follow us, and you'll learn all the details.
Which is, I can't wait to catch up and see. We're just finishing up our final couple of laps. One final question for you, too. You know, not only are you building great boats, but you are building some great junior racers out here. How does it feel to be not only a part of jet ski racing on the manufacturing side, but you're also contributing with some incredible racers as well? How's that feel from the mom perspective?
Thank you. From a mom and a sponsor, it's so amazing to watch these young kids grow up and develop. And for us, it's not just about the racing. It's about who they're developing or who they're becoming off the track as well. Young men and women, and teaching to have respect for one another and be good, kind-hearted people. So yes, I'm a mom with kids on the track, but I'm also just someone that has a passion for the sport and passion for the youth out there, because at the end of the day, it's all about the kids. So we're having a great time.
You're the best. Okay, again, catching up with Brittany Webster, mom, sponsor, and amazing lady. Thank you so much. And Wendy, thank you so much. Wendy Underhill has been supporting us all day, getting all of these different people up here for our interviews. Just really appreciate her so much, her and her husband, Doug Underhill from Junior Stars of Florida. Back to the races, you guys, and Tanner Wright bringing it home for the last couple of laps here. And Ryan Poper still on the charge. You're watching the Ski Lights 14 to 15 class. Ryan's fast. Ryan's ski is like crazy fast. Yeah, he did get gated to second very fast. Jeremy Steino, great feedback on that. Thank you, sir. Jeremy Steino joining us on the live stream, and one of our valued announcers on the circuit around the country. And great to have him join us on the stream. Poper is going to go to the inside as Tanner Wright goes to the outside, but too little too late as Tanner Wright takes the win in a beautiful run for the gentleman on boat number 713 out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona, 14 years fast. Ryan Poper in second, but Ryan is your new champion in Ski Light 14 to 15. And third is going to be Gary Holbein Jr., a.k.a. Super G. That's going to be your top three. You were watching the final portion here of race number 3. Thank you so much, Shara D. Snyder, for the feedback on the stream. Well, some interesting conditions here. I really thought we were going to get more wind out here today based on some of the feedback. And unfortunately, Gary going down, costing him that third place position. We'll get you the update on those top 3. But again, your top 2 riders coming in were Tanner Wright, followed by Ryan Poper. The water's pretty flat. Does make for some very fast race conditions today as we move on to race number 4. The boats are going to be even quicker, and these riders are going to be, let's talk about them, on boat number 924 on the pole position. Parker Kaiser out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona, with 2 back-to-back Moto wins today. Lined up right next to him, it's going to be boat number 10, Hendrick Smith, out of Liberty Hill, Texas. Right in the middle of that pack is boat number 141. And that is Reese Geis out of Scottsdale, Arizona. She comes into this round with a second place with a second and third place finish, respectively. And third is going to be boat number 125. That is Josh Simon, lined up on the fourth place. So is toward the outside. Josh is out of Corona, California, currently in third in points. And fourth, Caden Webster on the 127 boat with a 4-4 finish. And again, Hendrick Smith actually picked that second in. Britton Hanshy also on the lineup on boat number 405, and that is your current crew. And woo, that was a very quick start. And you can already hear, the whistles actually as the red flag comes out. We've had quite a few red flags, not necessarily unusual in the final motos, but quite a number of red flags. But I do believe that's part of the training process as well. We've only got a couple more races to go today. Super good start for these young guns, but was it too good? Yes, it might have been. All right, we're back as we sort out what happened on that red flag start. I'm here with Tanner Wright. That got a little crazy on those starts down there, bud. Give me a recap of what was happening on the line.
That first one, they called me for a jump, but we were able to kind of overrule it, and I didn't get penalty. Then the second start was fair, and I managed to grab the hole shot, which is what I've been looking for.
Yeah. Looked for it, got some gold. Once you got the hole shot, strategy from there, what happened next? I noticed you looking back a couple times to see where Ryan was.
Yeah, I was, Ryan is a fantastic racer, I could say that much, and he was keeping me on my toes, but I was just trying to find a flow and a rhythm and stay consistent with my lines and make sure that I was having no mistakes.
You have such an interesting hybrid riding style. I'm very curious, who taught you how to ride?
It's really just absorbing the people that I see at Body Beach because, in Havasu we have a lot of fast riders there, so I just I look at who I can call my friends now, and I just kind of look at their riding styles, and I can adapt and kind of look like them.
Well, you most certainly look pretty amazing. I'm down here with Tanner Wright. We're going to go to our next race. Thanks so much, sir.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Congratulations. All right, we're back, and we got a good start on race number 4, the Ski Light 16-17. And the big question is, did Parker Kaiser manage to pull off another hole shot? He had 2 of them coming in, and right now he's on the hunt for another, and he did it. Parker Kaiser with the lead in this third and final moto as he comes into the split section, and he does choose the outside option. Actually, check that. He went to the inside. Looked like he was going to this outside, but chose the inside option. Going to be Reese Geis going to the outside. And Josh Simon will be third. So again, Parker Kaiser with the hole shot. Reese Geis in second. And Josh Simon rounding out your top 3. .127, Caden Webster in fourth, and Hendrick Smith is your top 5. You're watching race number 3, moto number 3 of race 4 in Ski Light Division 16-17, and Parker Kaiser is hunting another hat trick. Not the first one to do it. Christian Bain was the first one, actually, to pull that off. Okay, again, as we come through, Reese Geis putting pressure on Parker Kaiser. And as we had interviewed him earlier today, one of the things that Parker had brought up is the one person he was most concerned with, because he thought she would be the most competitive, was Reese Geis, and she is currently right behind him. 4.41 seconds separating the top two riders. Then up in third, Josh Simon with a 5-2 finish, giving him third overall. This will lock him into that final position on the podium today if he can hold on to that spot. He's currently in third. Gentlemen, it's going to perhaps mix that up. Caden Webster with a 4-4 finish right behind Josh and very close to Josh Simon. So you've got a pretty tight battle for first. And let's see if Reese Geis has picked up any time. She followed Parker through that inside split and actually cost her a little bit. She's back to 5.36. So a 5.36 deficit between Reese Geis and Parker Kaiser. On the battle between Josh Simon and Hendrick Smith, who has moved up, is also tight. Hendrick's now only 3 seconds behind Josh Simon. And in fact, Hendrick Smith is putting a severe amount of pressure as they hit that backstretch. They are within a second of each other. So Hendrick Smith, in less than a lap, has made up 3 seconds overall on Josh Simon. Parker Kaiser comes through that inside split yet again. I'm fascinated that Reese Geis went through the inside split following him. She's actually starting to lose time on Parker Kaiser your race later, and you can see that huge sweeper section from our drone camera, and what a beautiful shot that is. 7.12 seconds between Reese Geis. She is losing an average of 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds on each lap, and I would suspect that some of that is happening in that inside split. She was quite a bit faster on the outside, but maybe she does something that we don't. But you are getting a really pretty shot here of Oklahoma City River and Riversport OKC as we work our way through these different rounds of motos. And right now you're watching the 16 to 17 ski light class. This is going to be the final qualifying opportunity for them to get into the Grand Championship, and our top 2 riders out of this will be going to the Grand Championship, and they will be battling out against the 12 and 13-year-olds and the 14 and 15-year-olds. And I don't know about you, but I cannot wait to see how that unfolds. That also is happening today. Now this is the first part of the true technical section on the backstretch where they have to come in and pick up that little dog leg. And just when you kind of smooth that out, you have to go grab your next one. And then you have this odd situation here. You're just thinking you're getting to the backstretch and you can go wide open. And then you got to dunk in yet again for a double yellow buoy. And what is so fun to me is that when we talk to the junior riders, they're all like, yeah, no, this is wide open, but from a technical perspective, it's actually not all that wide open. There's quite a bit of critical areas of here that they must pay attention to in the race. And Parker Kaiser, man, again, we talked about what a physical rider is, and you could see that playing out right in front of you on these final couple laps, 6 laps for these riders. Parker also out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona, and also on a TC free ride boat. He's got some pretty fascinating sponsors to include Flu Visual and KCal Customs. Also sponsored by Performance Horses, and I'm curious about what that is all about. Came in second and third in the World Finals in 2 of his classes, respectively, in 2022. and said one of his funnest jobs is being able to actually work at TC Freeride as well. The hunt continues between Josh Simon and Chris Hendricks as you watch the battle for third and fourth on that backstretch. And Parker Kaiser coming through. Was born in Lake Nacimiento in Paso Robles. And he has a flawless ride happening in this afternoon. Oh, Sherry D, well, thank you. Gosh, that always makes me feel crazy. But Michael Bernhardt, no worries. I personally get on him if I see him slacking. Fair enough. Course Marshal Randy. There's quite a bit of chatter happening on the live stream. Bailey Cunningham, what a mint location. I totally agree. Beautiful race condition for Parker Kaiser. This is one of the few times that you get to see a course design of this nature where they have to deal with very specific race conditions. You're racing on a river, so you've got to lay out a vertical track. And great job for Parker Kaiser, and you could see the body language as he came through, powering that final couple of buoys in a great race for the gentleman out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona. And Reese Geis also comes in, and she is very proud of that one. Good finish for her. That's your first and second place and your top two for podiums. And also, once they get past TAC, those will be the two that will be going into the Grand Championship. But we're not done with racing. Take a quick look back out to that split section, and you can see just how close it is between Chris Hendricks on the outside and Josh Simon from the inside split. And will Josh be able to hold him off? That is close. Josh is going to take third, and Chris Hendricks for fourth. Beautiful run for both of these gentlemen. Josh Simon out of Corona, California, and Hendrick Smith out of Liberty Hill, Texas, third and fourth. You watching race number 4. That was outrageous. Here we are. And as we finish up our beautiful racing, I want to just point out Riversport is actually hosting the Flow Rider National Championship surfing event here in August. And look at this incredible venue that they are going to be highlighting for this Flow Rider National Championship right here in August. That looks like way too much fun. Gorgeous, gorgeous venue. Slip surfing at its best. And again, this is just one of the great areas for competition and a beautiful way to celebrate water sports. You're looking at Riversport OKC. Over 100 acres of river sport activity, to include rapid whitewater area as well, that you're also getting a chance to take a look at. For whitewater rafting, competition canoeing and kayaking, all of it available right here at Riversport OKC. Oh, Bar K restaurant, I heard, is right back there to include one of the hot spots to hit. And these guys are right next door to Bricktown. This is called the Boathouse District. And you can certainly see why. What an incredible celebration of water sports. I don't know about you, but it definitely makes me want to sneak out of the announcing tower and go play at some of these very cool venues. And if you weren't jealous enough, let me please just heighten that for you. All of the kids this weekend have the ability to participate in any one of these events and at any one of these venues. They're able to, them and their families are able to go out and try whitewater rafting. They could try canoeing, any of these really cool events. These guys are able to do that this weekend, and I think that to me is probably one of the highlights of being able to celebrate junior racing, is to be able to see these guys doing something that they love, and then they're off the track and they're going to play with their friends and their buddies. And what better way, in my opinion, to celebrate jet ski racers and junior racers in particular. Oh, wow, thank you. Our production team giving me some feedback here. They're the only permanently lit race course in the world. It just doesn't get any better than this. Speaking of not getting any better, we were watching Rec Lights, and we got an opportunity to talk to Javier Falcon and Cooper Caldwell and Hendrick Smith. And Javier and Cooper are at it again. Javier with the hole shot and Cooper Caldwell in second. And these guys have just been putting on a show for us. I know there's not a lot of riders out here, but the ones that are certainly wicking it up. You're watching the Rec Light class, and that is the 14 to 15. And just to tell you how close it is, it's 1.96 seconds is all that separates these two very competitive riders. So Javier Falcon and Cooper Caldwell, and look at them side by side. It's like side by side slalom racing, which we get to watch as well. Whoa, that is close. Less than a boat, and Cooper Caldwell had the pole position. Coming through that, it was trying to steal the line. Javier had to open it up for him. Cooper Caldwell is not done yet. That was outstanding. What a beautiful setup between these two. Cooper Caldwell came out of that split section. He actually, as you know, had the line to that first left-hand turn and just wasn't able to hold on to it. And Javier Falcon coming in and shutting the door, but just barely. And I have to say, I'm very impressed with how Javier did that. He didn't push that, close the door. He actually did that with a absolute pure ambassador move. He moved over, but he didn't shut it completely because he didn't want to spin Cooper. Because you could actually, if you touch the front of that boat, you could have spun the other rider's boat. But he did it like a pure gentleman. Beautiful done. I don't think they're quite done with this race. Look at them as they come through, still side by side. Javier to the outside again. Cooper on the inside. Cooper's got the momentum, but Javier still has the upper speed. Cooper shuts it right there. Came from the inside, managed to hold that speed, and moved into the lead. Not going to take away from Javier Falcon's overall, but still an amazing move by Cooper Caldwell, and also very gentlemanly. You noticed he kept looking back. The reason that they're doing that is they're making sure that while they shut the door, they're not pushing on each other's bond rail, because that's where you get into an accident. That was very professional racing. In fact, I've seen pro riders not handle a setup as well as the two juniors did. By the way, do realize you're only watching riders that are 15 and 14 years old. Again, Javier Falcon with the overall thus far, and I don't think we're going to be able to take that away. He's just done such a great job with that first and second place, that first Moto and second Moto win. And currently he's in second out on the track, so it won't affect his overall. Favorite music, Co Wetzel. And let's talk about the gentleman that's in the lead, Cooper Caldwell out of Fort Worth, Texas, 10th grade student, sponsored by Tim Miller, Deplorable Racing, Dean's Team. And that's actually Dean's Team built boat. I will tell you, every time I see that written on a race sheet, I can tell you that you're going to have a very fast boat under you. Dean's Team, Dean's Cherrier, and of course his amazing wife. That's Donna, by the way. I love them. Hope we get a chance to see them soon. They just build incredible boats. His favorite music, Cooper Caldwell, is rap, but he also says he listens to country in the shower. TMI, Cooper. Definitely TMI. Wants to attend college and play basketball if possible. Says his pre-race never talks and doesn't really want to talk or eat. I can relate to that. I would get super nervous. I just don't like to. I'm not too chattery on those times. Racing style, make sure he knows his competition. Cooper Caldwell absolutely exemplified that. He had been watching Javier Falcon and how he was taking the turns coming out of that split section, and he had set up that track and actually set up that pass prior to ever coming into that lap before. Very impressive move. I get a little stray paper bouncing around here. Got that fixed. Back. Final couple of races of the day. Then we're going to go to that Grand Championship race, and I'm going to get a chance to talk to one of the gentlemen that's going to be a part of that, and I want to get some thoughts on what it's going to be like to get into a Grand Championship race with racers that are both older and younger than you. Cooper Caldwell, sponsored by Caldwell Pools, leading from that outside split with just a couple more laps to go. Said his first, he's a two-time national champion. One of those was in a Rec Light Runabout in the Naughty Water Tour. Says he likes baseball and basketball. Oh, this is interesting. He said the chatter around the races was that he was too young to race big boats, but he said, I've worked hard all season to get better and to learn to hold on. I've had fun and met a lot of great people along the way. Thank you, Tim Miller and Justin Smith, for all of the support. Well, Cooper Caldwell, I think we could put that rumor to bed. You certainly know how to handle a boat, and a big, heavy runabout seems to be no problem for you either. Congratulations to this incredible racer. We're just a few laps away from wrapping this up. In fact, this might be the final lap for these guys. And again, you're watching Cooper Caldwell. This is going to be his first moto win of the motos, but he is going to lock down a podium finish with the second overall. Oh, nice turn. Here's the other thing you want to focus on when you're watching the big boats. It's a little easier to set up turns in a stand-up than it is a runabout, but a runabout tends to be just a bit more stable coming in and out. Beautifully done. Congratulations, Cooper Caldwell. I love how he handled that outside split. You could see him coming a little bit steep, made a minor correction. Beautiful setup all the way through that outside split section. Also, congratulations to Javier Falcon for taking the overall today. You were watching the Runabout Rec Light class. Here's going to be the replay on that final lap in Rec Lights. That was actually a gorgeous pass. I'm glad we got the opportunity to see the replay on that. I thought first we were going to do the final, but that was even better. Now, that was after the lap prior where he almost got it, and then this next lap, Cooper Caldwell sealed the deal and took over the lead in the Rec Lights division. What a beautiful move as we get ready to go with our next race. But before we do that, let's go to a quick interview with the gentleman that took the win in the final of the Ski Lights divisions. Parker, you had some pressure. It's funny because we were just talking about Reese Geis and that was going to be one of your biggest competitors. Sure enough, you get out on the track, and who's right behind you?
Yeah, she's just a great rider. She was on me the whole time.
That rascal. How were you going to handle that strategy as soon as you saw her back there?
I just tried to ride smooth the whole time.
Yeah, you did a great job. I think we've talked about how physical you are as a racer. Do you switch when you find that you're racing with somebody that you know is going to put pressure on you? Do you change your style, or do you stay with the same? What works?
I just stay with the same style the whole time.
And how do you like this boat? Is this a new boat for you?
No, I've had this boat for a long time.
So that makes it even easier because you're comfortable, right?
Yeah, got it set up to my liking.
Yeah, that's the best. Tell me who your sponsors are again.
TC Freeride, Grom, Works Racing, Crown K, Performance Horses, Robo Speedco, and K-Cow Customs.
Just a few. Ladies and gentlemen, Parker Kaiser, congratulations to you, great winner. Now you're on to the Grand Championship. Just real quick, what are you going to do for that? Because that's going to be a biggie.
Just try to get a good start and just ride my own race.
All right. Well, I think that's a perfect strategy for you. Parker Kaiser, thanks. You bet. All right, up next, Double Trouble. Oh, and we're also going to come back and do the start of the race, and then we'll get you some more interviews in just a moment. Let's go back down to the track and on the line, stock 12 to 13 moto, and this is going to be their final moto. Ski stock 12 to 13 and ski stock 14 to 15. And down on this lineup is going to be boat number 515 on the pole position. That's Ty Smith out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Man, what a run he had in this one with a pair of aces coming into this third and final moto. Tristan Hebert is going to be in that second place spot on the 41, and he is actually lined up in that second position on the line. Trent Cornett's going to round out the top three in the 12 to 13 stock class, coming in with a pair of threes. Trent's out of Wichita, Kansas, and Tristan Hebert is as well. Then we take a look at the stock ski 14 to 15 moto. Jax Rowe is going to be on that lineup on the 995 boat. You can see him right next to Mr. Cornett. And then Jackson Lloyd will be rounding out that. He is in second currently with a pair of deuces as finishes. This is going to be a stock division, a little bit different from the ski lights. You were looking at two strokes, very snappy, very quick. Stock division is a whole new ball game. As we guys get ready to go, I'll tell you a little bit more about that. And it looks like they're off to a pretty good start and just waiting to see if they're going to get a red flag, but I don't see anything out there. And so that is going to be a solid start for our riders. It's going to be boat number 139 with the hole shot, and that is Trent Cornett, followed by 515 of Ty Smith. Again, Trent Cornett with the hole shot, Ty Smith in second. Just trying to grab a couple of numbers here as they come through. Gonna have to go for much bigger binoculars. Ty is going to go to the inside split. Trent Cornett will pick up the outside, and that looks like Tristan Hebert in third. Cool, got our top three. And Ty Smith already trying to do some sneaky action here as he goes to the inside, try to reel him in. Let's talk a little bit about the stock division in comparison to the ski lights. Looked like 995. That was Jax Rowe. He has got a sense of humor. It looked to me like he was trying to row his way into that next position. Not unusual to see the riders do that. They'll react out on the boats. If you watch them pretty close, you'll get to see quite a few antics out on the boat. One of those is this idea of just like trying to push your boat into a faster place. I also see an awful lot of one-legged monkey adjustments, trying to just save yourself from going off the side of it. All right, well, there's the start on the stock, and it looks like we've got them locked in at least for a minute or so. Again, your race leader, 139, Trent Cornett, followed by Ty Smith. Cornett out of Wichita, Kansas, and Ty Smith out of Arizona. So we've got Kansas versus Arizona. Both of them are going to take that outside. Ashley Sewell saying Cooper is a beast. All right, you guys. I'm going to catch up here with our couple of our great racers. But first, let's just talk about stock a wee bit. And then actually, I'm going to have them chime in on stock versus light class. So for me, a stock boat, in so many ways is super fun to watch because it's on the rider at that point, right? You really get to see the rider skill. You really get to see rider strategy. Like there's no makeup or do-overs. Like you could do so many saves with a light class because you can use that acceleration to catch up, right? If you make a minor mistake or a bobble. But with stock, you've got to be flawless. And you have to pre-plan. If you are going to make a pass, generally these guys are setting up those passes 2 and 3 laps prior. So they're looking for the rider weakness. They're looking for areas where the riders might go in a little bit slower, and then they're going to start gaining every lap. So that's what's fun about watching stock. But I don't want you to hear it from me. I want you to hear it from some of the top riders in the world. I got Reese Geist down here hanging out with me. What are your thoughts on stock versus, say, light or some of these open boats? And what do you like and maybe not like about those two divisions?
Yeah, so one thing for me I really like about racing the stock class is it kind of changes up my racing in a way. Something that I really look forward to every year is going down to the World Finals, and when all the girls get to come down from overseas and racing that stock class, it's really, you're on edge at all time. You can't really, there's no room for error, and if you do make a mistake, you got to catch back up, and unlike the lights class where you have to, you can kind of have room for error.
Well, it was so perfect you said it because literally we just watched it play out on the track. Reese, I just love hanging out with you. So that's exactly what happened. You just can't make those minor mistakes. Minor mistake was happening on the 139 boat, and that caused an opportunity for Ty Smith to move into the lead from the inside split. Beautiful adjustment from him. But you could see he wasn't hitting the gas. It's not like he could just jump into the lead. He's got to pre-plan all of it. Really fun to watch that.
Yeah, of course. It's really exciting to watch because it definitely changes up the racing from the lights class, and it's the in-between transition up to the GP classes.
Yeah, it's really cool. Now, I'm here also with Rylan Webster. Rylan, did you want to give me some feedback on that as well? Have you raced both the stock boats and the light boats, or do you prefer one or the other?
So the closest thing to stock boat I've raced is a 1050 GP1, which when you put those two head-to-head, they are pretty close. The boats on the track now, I believe, do have restrictor plates, so that does cut a lot of the power. But I could say between the lights and the open class, something you see a lot of the riders do with the lights boats is the fastest lights riders in the world carry their speed on every buoy. With the open boats, you can kind of square your turns off more and be more precise. But honestly, on the lights boats, whoever is the smoothest is the fastest on the track. And yeah, I mean, that's really it. The lights boats are a lot of fun. The open boats are a lot of fun, but they're very, very different.
Oh my gosh, great insight. I hadn't thought about that, but you're straight up, right? You can kind of cheat it with the power and square off, and you could set it, you could set the back end. But you're right, on a stock, you just can't play that game. You got to be so smooth. Oh, great insight. Thank you, Rylan. That was awesome. Hey, let's do a quick rundown again just to make sure that we're giving some love to these riders on the water, as well as getting some insight of what's happening out on the water. Again, you've got that great pass from Ty Smith from that lap prior. We do have a rider that looks like he's got some boat problems. It is Trent Cornell in second on the 139 boat. And then it looks like boat number 41. Actually, let me just double check. Yep, I'm thinking that's 41 still. Oh, no, it is 995. That's why. 995 is Jax Rowe, who is moved up into third. And I believe Tristan Hebert was the one that was having some problems. So 995 is your new third place rider, and Tristan Hebert dropped back a little bit with some engine problems. So that's where we are currently, and that is also going to be how the finish happened as well. Congratulations to Ty Smith. Fantastic win. And then in second place, Trenton Cornell, and then in third is going to be Jax Rowe. Just watching the action on the ski stock 12-13 and the ski stock 14-15. Oh, wow. So up next is going to be, we're going to do that Grand Championship thing, right? Are you ready for that?
Yes, I'm actually super excited with that because I don't usually get to race all these kids anymore since I'm kind of above the regular junior level, and I'm excited.
You're getting older, Reese.
I know, it's kind of sad.
Oh my gosh, you're off to college. Where are you going to college?
I haven't really decided on anything yet. I'm going into my senior year, so definitely going to be making some decisions here in the next couple months.
That's so funny because Rylan's like, not yet, Dawn. Don't throw her in college quite yet.
I don't know. I think her dad might be shedding a few tears down under the canopy right now. So Jimmy doesn't really like when we talk about college, but we grow up. We all grow up. We all race. Something we all have in common. And as we get older and the boats get bigger, the boats get faster, and I don't know. It's just like racing just teaches you a lot in life. It's taught me a lot, and I think it's really good to do a sport or any type of racing because it really teaches you determination, and I think that could help you a lot in your schoolwork. So I don't know, just a little insight.
No, Rylan, I really appreciate that. You and Caden and Karis, all of you, both of you remind me so much of Brittany and Steve, but you also are just so brilliant in your own right. It's actually it really truly is quite inspiring hanging out with you. So, and it's been fun to watch you guys today as well. But good insights on the race for sure. Yeah, I appreciate it. It makes a big difference, I think, for people that are watching, that you get to see some of the intricacies in the sport. Because there's a lot happening out on that, right? Just where you're putting your feet makes such a huge difference. But it comes so much better, I think, from the racer than any commentator, right? To be able to hear how the rider is setting up a turn. Let's actually talk about that super briefly, and then I know we've got I'm not sure. Oh, that's just a replay? What's happening? Oh, we're doing the IROC. We're still doing live racing. Okay, awesome. I didn't realize we had the IROC going as well. Awesome. Okay, IROC racing at its best. But this is still the same two riders we've been talking about and how awesome they are. This is Javier Falcone and Cooper Caldwell yet again. We're back to some more live racing. I like how the production team had to, like, hello, Dawson, quit chatting. Yeah, Cooper is super, super fast. So we're watching an IROC class right now. And Javier just shutting the door in a great way. Jack's Row on a 1500, and Cooper is a beast, I totally believe. I loved the setup on that. All right, so beautiful run from the inside, and look how Cooper trying to push back on that boat and get an opportunity to step his nose. This looks so similar to what we were watching just a couple of races ago. So the matchup between Cooper Caldwell and Javier Falcone. I think I've said his name 4 different ways. I'm thinking it's Falcon, though. Cooper Caldwell pushing on Javier. Cooper, by the way, wants to play basketball in college if possible, he said. Cooper is debating. Ooh, nice. First turn on the outside, just pinned it. And you could see how quickly that boat reacted for him. Cooper Caldwell might be able to do an overtake from this outside. I am very curious about this. They came in very tight, but the line is going to go to Javier. And Javier actually opened up a bit more distance on that one. So Cooper, I suspect, will make a correction pretty quick. .72 between the two riders. Now, do you guys ever race sit down at all, or has it always been stand up for both of you?
I have not raced any sort of sit downs, but something that was kind of interesting to me is the sports spec class. That looks like a lot of fun.
I'm gonna say, I'm with you on that. Same thing. They're very fun. They look fun, right?
Definitely. I know Ryland's brother Caden used to race that and used to have lots of fun in that class on the blaster.
But I think Ryland kept trying to corrupt him to make him ride on the stand up, if I'm correct.
You know, I have to say I did kind of push him a little bit to do stand up. I think the sport class is great. It's just, it's really competitive, but also it's like with the Sea-Doo HXs and the Yamaha blasters, it's just the Sea-Doos are so much better, and if you are a decent rider, you can beat any good blaster rider. So it kind of takes the fun away from it, in my opinion. But I think stand-ups are a lot better. I think it takes more skill, and it's a lot more the rider than the boat.
Right. And of course, obviously, individual opinion, right? Like I have a flip side of that for me personally, just because I've seen so many incredible races, sit-down races. So I'm super torn. I used to be all about, right, just stand up, so the best. But the more runabout racing I watch, Ryland, the more amazed I am. First off, I think there's like the mechanic battle, right? That is truly played out in runabout racing. But I also, when I watch people like Jeremy Perez, and some of these just, Bahamid Barabi, a.k.a. Skinny Mo, some of these guys on a global stage are just outstanding. And a lot of them started as juniors, right? So it, to me, makes it even more impactful. But I agree. It's, we each have our own We each have our own flavor of what we really love. There is something very purist in a lot of ways about the stand-up rider. But the sit-down in its own right, as you can see, can be so exciting to watch. And Cooper definitely has brought the game today. I have found him going a little bit slower through that outside split. What surprised me was he took that outside yet again. Let's take a look and see where we are on the time. He's back 2.49 seconds, so he did lose time going to the outside split those 2 laps. Let's see if Cooper has also picked up that he's shaving time in the wrong direction. Yep, he did. He went to the inside split. See, that is to me, that is such a sign of an intelligent racer in the making, right? When they're able to know their pace and, yep, I'm pulling away. I'm going to have to adjust my strategy. Cooper Caldwell just did it. He's going to follow the inside split. And I thought Javier's move to steal the inside away was pretty brilliant as well. So, again, rider psychology playing out. It's so fun commentating with you guys as well. I really appreciate your time today doing this.
Yes, thank you so much for having us up here. I appreciate all that you do for our sport, and it makes it so interesting to go back and watch races or watch them live and have your announcing. I love it.
Thank you. Wow, okay, don't make me blush.
In my personal opinion, Dawn's the best commentator in our sport. She has a good insight on everybody. She talks to the racers. She gets to know them a bit more than everybody else, so she can talk about the racers like we all know them. So I think it really helps somebody from an outsider perspective to understand the sport and understand racing. Dawn's great, and I'm really happy she's here.
Especially for the World Series. Yeah, especially watching like the World Series and stuff. It's so cool, like how you get to go over there and talk like you already know everything about these riders. It's awesome to hear.
You're killing me. You two are killing me. Thank you. I'm super humbled. I did not expect that at all. Well, thank you. Hang with me some more, but let's get back to the track. Let's unfold what's happening here. Javier Falcon has pulled, to me, one of the best strategies of the weekend. He watched Cooper Caldwell get around him in that prior race, and so in this IROC class, Javier Falcon very quickly took that inside line away from Cooper Caldwell, and Cooper's been working that outside split like a dragon, but I've got to say, he's actually shaved time, so that last lap, as you saw, moved to the inside. That definitely has got him closer, and look at Cooper coming off of that turn as they pick the option again. I think it's smart. He's taken, he went to the outside. All right, corrected me now. He might have. Let's see what happens. Like, he was close. I just feel like this has been a little bit trickier run. All right, I'm going to have to time this. I'm so excited to watch this. All right, it is less. He was at a 191 on that one, so he did shave off some time. Good strategy for Cooper Caldwell. The question is, can he get to the inside? Because that's how we got around him last time. But I love that Javier's like, this is the second time I see you stuff your nose from the inside, so I'm just going to shut your world off. Really beautiful riding. Hanging out here with some of the best kids in the business as you are watching the racing. And I'll just get some of the feedback from the live stream because we've had a ton of Caldwell is all over Javi. Good racing. Jeremy, I couldn't agree more. This has been an incredible race to watch. And Ashley Sewell, go, go, go. All of that from the live stream. And again, I do agree. Cooper is a beast. All right, again, Cooper continuing the pressure. Now, this has got to be hard for Javier because he can actually see him. I feel like Javier's got a bit of an edge, but it is sure close. And that is going to be a wrap for Javier. He just had to do it one more time and done and dusted. But Cooper Caldwell kept him honest throughout that beautiful race. You were watching the IROCs. All right, so let's see what's up. Now, when do you have to go down for the championship?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not too sure. I think they wanted to do some tech or something like that after all the races were done, and then I think they were going to get us all together.
Oh, good. Okay, because I didn't want you to mention this because we're up here chatting, and suddenly we got to line up. And all right, we better get you down. You guys got to go race. I'm going to hang out here with Karis. Awesome, you guys. Again, you've been watching the racing here at the Junior Nationals, and what a crazy week we've had already with great temperatures and super fun super fun racing action. I'm up here with another great racer who has come so far the last couple of years. And, of course, she's a part of a big racing legacy, and that, of course, is the Websters. And I remember when Steve Webster used to do the national tour reluctantly, mind you. I don't think he ever really loved racing the national tour, but he'd go out and help with all the different riders. And, of course, Commander is really, if you think about it, one of the big boats globally. Like when you look at that GP1, that whole Commander series, and of course your brand new boat. But Karis, let's talk about you. How are you doing? When did you start racing, and what do you love about jet skis?
I started racing February of 2021. I was 11 years old. I was just on my brother's Superjet, but we still have on the water, the 127 Superjet. And I really have only practiced a couple times. I mean, I knew how to ride my whole life because, my dad's Steve Webster, but they were just like, grab the throttle and go. And I was like, okay. And I just went out there, and I pretty sure I got second or first. I can't remember, but it was awesome. It was so much fun. And my favorite, was it your question what my favorite part of racing is?
Yeah.
I think I've said this before in an interview with you, but my favorite part of racing is racing with my friends because it's so much fun. Like, we're hanging out off the water, but the second you put your helmet on, it's go time. And, I mean, we're all pretty close into the same ability, and it's just we go back and forth and whatever, and it's always super fun to see who gets the overall.
That's actually one of the reasons why I asked again, because I remembered that, and you inspired me so much the first time you said it, because when you do that, it just, to me, lights up our sport, and it reminds us of the magic. So that is one of the coolest parts of it to me, is being able to hang out with your friends. And truly, junior riders never let us forget the true reason we're here, right? That and being a part of family, of course. So now, are you on a new boat this year, or what's happening over there?
So about 2 weeks ago, we built a 1050 GP1, and it is a 4-stroke Superjet motor put in a GP1 hull, and it's obviously the brand new hull, infused, made in the USA, way better quality than our old hulls. But it's a new boat. I'm super excited. It's a big step up, starting to move up, racing with the big boys, and it's great. I'm super excited to really see myself start to improve and get into bigger leagues of this sport.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to see that. That's a perfect teaser for where we're going next. But yeah, can you send me pictures so we can share?
Of course, I'll send you pictures, Dawn.
Heck yes, I can't wait to see this awesome new boat. Hanging out with Karis Webster. You're watching the Junior Nationals right here at Riversport OKC. And yes, we are having an excellent, excellent day. Girl, so much fun hanging out with you. Thank you. All right, we're going to go back down to the race site. Appreciate all your insights. You're more than welcome to hang out. We were literally with Reese and Ryland just getting feedback. Let me see what next here. I'm actually out of race sheets, so I'm going to have to just fake it till I make it here. One moment. Catch up. All right, Britton Reinhardt is up next, and she got an amazing hole shot. Britton Reinhardt on that 951 boat. And give me just 2 seconds to kind of catch up here with our race lineup. Still catching up. I'm guessing 515 of Ty Smith, followed by Britton Reinhardt. Oh, I think you're right. This is the showdown for the final. I'm having the racers keeping me up to date. Thank you very much. All right, so again, Ty Smith and Britton Reinhardt have locked in their position. And I believe Christian Bale and Felix Mienko third and fourth, respectively. Now, again, those classes were split out originally. Right now, they're doing the showdown to see who's going to be going into the Grand Championship, which, as I've been teasing that all day long, is the race where all the different age groups are going to get a chance to line up and battle it out. Speaking of Junior Stars, Junior Star race fans, this year they are doing some amazing Junior Stars t-shirts. And if you guys would like to grab one, just send a clear action shot photo with your kid. All proceeds will go for Junior Stars. Just email Shanti or Rhea for more information. And as they come back through, man, the top 2 riders, interestingly, both Britton and Ty Smith went to that inside split. And I just want to get some insight into that inside split section. We'll get set up here with an interview in just one moment, and we'll find out more about that. Awesome. So I'm down here with another guest commentator, and tell him who you are.
Cooper Caldwell. I'm born and raised from Fort Worth, Texas.
And Cooper, we were actually just commenting on. In fact, you were getting comments on the live stream about what a beast you are in a good way. Amazing racer, fantastic pass. Let's talk about the inside split because you capitalized on that this weekend.
Yeah, the inside split definitely gave me an advantage to end up passing him on the first straightaway part when I took the inside. Yeah.
I noticed that Javier got wise to your tricks, though, on that last IROC race. Yeah, it was definitely stole that away from you. Then what did you do?
I just had to either try and follow him or gain ground or try and get him on the back split.
Yeah, really good. Did you feel like you were slowing down working that inside or the outside, or what were your thoughts?
Yes, the outside definitely is a little slower than the inside, I think. But Javier did a good job at taking that outside and inside to try and make me work with both.
Yeah, he was playing strong defense, I got to say. That boy had defense going for sure. How do you like that boat?
I think I love it. It's very fast and really good at turning. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, you looked amazing. You were definitely lighting up the live stream. And you've got good racers out there because you didn't have a ton of people on the line, but you guys had everybody riveted with the back and forth that you two were doing. So,
thank you.
Do you have some sponsors you want to thank?
Jet Tribe, Jet Trim, Deployable Racing, and my family. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I hope to see more of you out here this weekend. Thank you, bud. Okay, back to it. Ty Smith rocking it on this final qualifier as we get ready to go with the Grand Championship race. The intensity on this race is amazing. Thank you so much. 5-on-5 water championship. That is a lot of fun for these guys to watch. Again, Ty Smith has got the lead on it. And just going to catch up real quick on these rider sheets, and we can update you on Ty Smith. But, yeah, I've got to say, he has been an incredible rider to watch this weekend. And, again, guys, just an FYI, we've just gone through the 6 races. These were the key races that you got to watch on the live stream, and then we're going to go from there to 6 brand new races for tomorrow. So we'll have new riders out there for you and new opportunities. But again, your race leader to the inside is Ty Smith. Britton trying to run him down, and she's actually making up some time from that outside split. The Go Fast boat of Ty Smith is hooked up, and still holding on to that lead, but Britton has closed the gap, and a shocking move from that outside. Wow, beautiful run for Ty Smith. Really impressive. 2.24 seconds, so she's reduced the time between her and the race leader. 2.24 seconds is all that stands between Britton Reinhardt and Ty Smith. Again, you are watching more of that showdown happening right here at Riversport OKC. Yeah, these kids are all overachievers, for crying out loud. And by the way, the final will consist of the top 2 from this moto racing against Parker Kaiser. These guys, Ryan Poper and Tanner Wright, are going to be who's going to be on this lineup. Okay, again, top two from this class are going to be going into the final, and right now it looks like pretty easy call as Ty Smith wraps it, and he is going to take that win, followed by Britton Reinhardt. That's going to be your top two. They will be transferring into that final championship, and a beautiful, truly a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful run. All right, so Reese Geis and Ryan Poper, Parker Kaiser, and Tanner Wright are all going to be facing off with Britton Reinhardt and Ty Smith. All right, well, coming into this, let's take another break with this little hot shot. I got to just tell you, Javier, we were watching up here, right? Like all the drama unfolding. Cooper gets around you, right? You got rowdy. But I really just want to salute not just that win, but also your win in the IROC class. Your strategy was absolutely brilliant, taking the inside. I want to get inside your head. You tell me, you saw it unfolding on the track. You tell me what you did and why.
So the race, when he passed me and beat me, I saw he kept taking the inside. So you know what, that might be the move. So on the whole shot, I took the inside, and it was a move to take.
Was it just me, or were you guys must have ridden together before, because honestly, I could feel the joy on the water as well. I mean, you guys looked like you were having fun out there. It wasn't just, we're trying to run over each other or whatever. Tell me about that.
No, it's just so much fun. It's actually our first time racing together, but usually all the other races, we always hang out, and me and him are good friends.
So, okay, let's talk about this. Who's your favorite competitor then? So on the spot, right?
I don't know. Probably Cooper on the sit down, because that was a fun race.
Yeah, it was. I gotta say, I could have watched that all day, quite frankly. Are you gonna do some fun stuff here at Riversport after this? What are you gonna do?
I might go to the pump track or to the water park. I don't know yet. Or I might just go explore Oklahoma City.
Oh, well, I think all of those are pretty darn good options. Do you want to thank any of your sponsors?
I'd like to thank Deployable Racing, Vision Watercraft, and my family for bringing me out and helping me.
Well, I can't wait to meet your family, too. Javier, you are amazing. Thanks so much, bud.
You're welcome.
It's you. All right, again, Junior Nationals, we're hanging out with some of the best of the best. And I tell you what, even though some of them are just getting started in racing, like Ellie, who we got to watch today at her very first race, Ellie Stevens, amazing mini stroke. I think we got a legend in the making with her as well. So again, back to the water as we get ready for this championship showdown. And let's talk a little bit about these guys. There's Ty Smith on that pole position. All right, this looks like the final battle for qualifying as well. Ashley Sewell saying that Javier's a fun racer and enjoyed being in his whitewash last weekend. Ashley, that's absolutely awesome. Thanks for sharing that. All right, we got the 515 back out again. And again, I think just Ty Smith just lined up yet again on this one. Okay, just going to catch the top two here. And that looks like Tristan Hebert's boat in second. And Jack's Row in third. And again, 515 of Ty Smith leading. So again, whole shot went to Ty, Tristan Hebert in second, and Jax Rowe in third. And this is going to be our final ski stock. On our final on ski stock, it's Ty Smith, followed by Tristan Hebert and Jax Rowe. Okie doke. Again, this is our race final for the ski stock class, and your top three, Ty Smith, followed by the indomitable Tristan Hebert on that 41 boat, and then Jax Rowe in third. And the 139 Abby Walden would be your top four. Getting a very impressive shot of these guys coming in, and you can see what we'd been talking about, how tight these split sections have been all day, and we've seen passes from both directions, but this afternoon riders are feeling like that outside might just be a smidge slower, or at the very least it's setting them up not quite for the pole position, right, like to be able to steal that inside line. So the preference has been going definitely to the inside. And really just want to say a shout out to Branton Hanshy, whose very first race was today. And I mean, we have seen all kinds of skill levels, but that is just so impressive. And Ty Smith went down and spun just a bit. Did not affect or cause a lead change, but what it did was definitely give Tristan Hebert an opportunity, because he is much, much closer to Ty Smith after that error off the back stretch, and Ty having to try to do a little makeup there. What an impressive save, though, to be able to spin out like that and not lose the boat, which is normally what you see when you have a rider do a semi-dismount. Again, watching Ty Smith out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona, the gentleman that was born in Southern California. You know, and it's so fascinating when you just take a look at the rider sheets on him. This gentleman's only in 6th grade, and look at the talent that is being demonstrated on the water by this rider. I mean, to see somebody be able to tackle turns at that level and be that young is just incredibly impressive. Trains 4 times a week, to include endurance training with mountain biking and running, talking about the gentleman in the lead, Ty Smith from the U.S. I still cracked up. The entire production crew grinned when I talked about his likes and dislikes, and one of his dislikes was, I hate zucchini. And I think there were 3 people up in the media center that were all nodding their heads. So I think that's sort of a universal thing. They're not big fans of zucchini here. You're watching the battle here in the stock final. 3.95 seconds is all that separates your top 2 riders. That's Ty Smith leading, followed by Tristan Hebert. Tristan doing a little back stretching as they made that final turn around the big sweeper. It just took a moment to try to release the tension in that back. Abby Weldon in the top 4. Or excuse me, that was Trent Cornett. My apologies. Trent Cornett in top 4. Yeah, actually, I'm not sure if that was his first sit-down race, but I do think he's hooked now. I know that Cooper Caldwell had actually advocated to be able to race in the sit-downs, and with this performance this weekend, I think that his career and future is definitely locked in. All right, Tristan Hebert continuing to put pressure on Ty Smith as we watch the final. And that is going to be that for Ty Smith, who takes the win and locks him into that top spot. It is going to be Tristan Hebert and Jax Rowe right there as well. I do believe Jax may take that second overall, Tristan Hebert third overall. But on the track, in this final moto, it was all about Ty Smith, followed by Tristan Hebert, followed by Jax Rowe, followed by Trenton Cornett. There's your top four. And don't go away. We're going to be coming at you with our top championship showdown here coming up next. We're just getting ready for our final race of the day. And that again is going to be that shootout glory shot for the Grand Championship for the ski lights. And coming at you live here at Riversport OKC. You've joined me all day long for some incredible racing. But this is going to be so much fun. Ooh, look at these fast boats jumping in the water. They are staging right now with Ty Smith's boat. You can see Jimmy Geist down there holding Reese's boat as she gets ready to go. And, of course, Tanner Wright with that gorgeous wrap in the 713 on the side. And Ryan Poper chilling. I must say, Ryan has a much quieter demeanor than his dad, Jeremy Poper, ever did down on the race line. Jeremy was like a cricket on a hot stove down on the line. Super fun to always watch Jeremy, but he definitely had an amped up demeanor on those lineups. Meanwhile, Ryan's down there all chill. So what a difference a generation makes, right? Incredible legacy of racers. Yeah, Sharon D. I think these kids are. I don't know though, man. They don't seem too exhausted. I think the parents are quite a bit more tired than the kids are. Yeah, again, I just got confirmation from our staff. This is going to be that final race. They're not going to do multiple motos of this. Just going to be this one big dash for glory, if you will. But I think what's a signature special about it is that if you're 12 to 13, you now get an opportunity to race in a division that you don't normally get to race in, right? So if I'm 12 and 13, I get to race against, Reese guys and Tanner Wright and those guys. So they're actually putting together the different age groups, but you had to qualify to get here. So again, it's just the top two riders that are actually going to be able to advance to this, and it's just one big dash for glory that's going to be unfolding in just a minute. Oh, we are ready to rumble, guys. This is going to be our final race of the day, and this is that championship. Let's see if that was a clean start. It looked fast, but was it clean as we do our grand championship attack? And man, that nickel, ace nickel, has been shining all day. Ty Smith with a whole shot. Tanner Wright in second. Wow. Reese right up there in that mix. Looks like she's back fourth or fifth. But all the glory for that start goes to Ty Smith out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Mind you, that gentleman has stepped up to the line at least 4 or 5 times today. Actually, more than that, because he's in so many different races. And he just smoked it on the top. And we do have a rider that went down. I think that might be Tanner. That took a Michael Phelps move as they went into the option. Nope, it wasn't. Tanner's still up. Check that. We're all good. So going to be Ty Smith and Tanner Wright coming through at first and second, followed by Brenton Reinhardt and Reese Geis. And wow, that is quite a few very fast riders. Look at Ty just all the way back in that tray, trying to keep that hook up on the intake grate and his ride plate, and that was a beautiful transition move from the split section into that big sweeper turn, and he's trying to get some distance from Tanner Wright, and that's a darn good plan, because Tanner is one of the riders that can come at you even late in the game and make a pretty strong pass. Very talented racer behind him. Look at Brenton Reinhardt, young lady representing for the fast ladies in this division. She's going to come into that inside split. The rider back in third. And she could try to put some pressure on the leaders. Let's take a look at our stopwatch here. I don't know about you, but I am eager to see what the time differential is, and it's nothing. And we're also going to do a quick lap time. Look how close Tanner Wright is to Ty Smith as they come off of that split section and back into the big high-speed turn onto the backstretch. Ryan Proper has moved up into fourth. And Reese Geis in fifth. What a beautiful run. Okay, I've got a stopwatch on him. I'm sure you're as curious as I am on how fast this lap is going to be. So again, Ty Smith, Lake Havasu City, bringing it home to this next lap, and I've got a stopwatch. I'll let you know how fast that time is, and it's got to be wicked because Tanner Wright is pushing him. Wright goes to the outside, Smith to the inside. Britton Reinhardt gonna follow Tanner Wright from that outside split. Oh, this is too close to call. Good grief. We are just over a minute. And your lap time, 1:06.97 for Ty Smith. And less than 3 seconds separating Ty Smith from Tanner Wright. Britton Reinhardt in third. Ryan Poper in fourth. Reese Geis up in fifth. And there are your top five. You're watching the championship dash for glory between the different age groups, and this is all the ski light or the two-stroke classes. Parker Kaiser was the rider that actually went off the boat and managed to recover, but sadly a tremendous amount of real estate is going to need to be made up by the gentleman on the 924 boat. So tough break for Parker Kaiser, but nevertheless, great run for all of these guys. And again, watching Ty Smith out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona. A student, wait for it, just so we can all feel old. He's only in 6th grade, and he just nailed less than 1:15 on a pretty massive course. That's 28 buoys, and I'm going to guesstimate about 1.5 kilometers a race course. And he is making this look way too easy. You're watching Ty Smith. And I love the way this gentleman sets up his turns on the boat, drops back all the way to the back of his boat, just trying to get as much of that weight and hook up through the intake grate, translating his energy down beneath that boat, trying to get the water to get into that intake grate and maximize that forward momentum. He's really done a beautiful job, and I find that interesting that he has felt a little bit more pressure in this race than I've seen him riding in the other races. And I'm also noticing that his riding stance, while not tense by any means, is starting to look more of a hybrid. He's using more physicality in this race that I've seen in the last couple of motos from Ty Smith, but it's certainly not translating into a bad ride at all. Just changing a little bit on his riding style. That's a good strategy for a young rider like that. All right, minor mistake in buoy 3 on the inside split. Not enough to worry about, and he corrected quickly, but definitely something to note. But he is starting to open up between himself and second. And speaking of second, Burton has moved into second, and Ryan Poper is pushing on Brenton. What happened to Tanner Wright? I believe Tanner dropped back. So a big mistake for Tanner Wright, who must have dropped into the water briefly on that far end of the track. So we've had a massive change. Again, this is just one moto, so this is all it. Multiple laps. I believe we got 8 laps for this one. Okay, I lied to you. We got 10 laps. We're just going to make laps up. We're going to do laps till we get tired of watching. I'm just kidding. I think we are going to do 10, though. All right, so a switch in leadership for your top 3. No change for Ty Smith, but Britton Reinhardt, your new second place, and Ryan Poper in third. Britton goes to the inside. Ryan going to make some distance up, maybe from this outside. Nice second turn. Out of the split section, Ryan Poper had the fastest turn. Had to correct on the angle for turn 3 and 4. And Britton Reinhardt is going to take advantage of that, stay in the lead. But Tanner Wright watched Ryan Poper, and he gained up on him. Tanner back and forth from second, and now going to try to get a little redemption. 1:06.97 was Ty Smith's lap time. Ty Smith followed by Britton Reinhardt, and the deficit is a 2:18 between Britton Reinhardt and Ty. Now, here's a young lady that was in third. So move from third to second and be under 3 seconds behind the race leader is that's a legacy in the making, quite frankly. This young lady is definitely going to be, I wouldn't even call her a future threat, which is something we commonly say in junior racing. Hey, these are future threats. She's a direct threat immediately to be able to have these kind of times. I'll put the stopwatch on these guys again for you, but don't stop watching this battle between Ryan Poper and Britton Reinhardt. But he's making some minor mistakes in that slalom section, and that is costing him a little bit of time. All right, we got the stopwatch on him. Still at right at 3 seconds between first and second place. I just want to point out the difference in riding style between second place rider Britton Reinhardt and Ryan Poper. So Ryan definitely pushing the boat. You can see that he is more reactive, and you can see he's being more aggressive in the turn. That was a perfect opportunity to see that coming off of that second buoy in that little sweeper. So Ryan is riding on the edge. Britton Reinhardt on the other side is finessing, but you can also see more physicality on her. Look how she is handling those turns on the inside. And yet, the difference, I would say, between the two riders is that Britton is staying a bit truer inside the slalom discipline. And what I mean by that is that she's following the lines a bit more accurately than Ryan is, and that is what is preventing Ryan from gaining time on Britton Reinhardt. It's that split section, because he's riding very aggressively, and I think he's working that throttle very well. 1:07.59, so pace has dropped off just slightly as we work our way through a little over halfway of this race. Again, you're watching this final dash for glory in the Ski Light Grand Championship, where age makes no difference, but talent certainly is going to show. Don't forget the pole position. That was Ryan Poper next to Ty Smith. Ryan actually did. I'm sure they drew for that. Actually drew for those lineups, and Ryan Poper actually had the pole. It's fascinating that Ty Smith has continued to work the inside split. Ryan Poper came in faster on this, but it's this last three buoys that Britton Reinhardt continues to outride, although I'm starting to see signs of fatigue from both Britton and Ryan Poper. Almost said Jeremy. Missed it by that much. Jeremy's going to be like, I heard that, Dawson. Oh, man, I wish I had a nickel for every time I used to say Jeremy Poper's name, because, man, that boy had some fast boats. It's great to have him and Trisha out here this weekend, and it's got to be such a big heart moment, right, to watch your kids race and do so well. Ryan Poper, representing out there for Leisure Pools, our title sponsor, and riding an amazing race. Let's click it back just a little bit further for you again. Ty Smith leading, Britton Reinhardt second, Ryan Poper is in third. It's Tanner Wright that's back in fourth. And Ty goes to the inside yet again. Oh, man, that third buoy has got to be one of the prettiest turns that I see Ryan make. And that one was pretty, too. Ryan might have a shot at this because that was the cleanest run I've seen him do on that outside split. And that is going to be a wrap. Congratulations to Ty Smith, followed by Britton Reinhardt and Jeremy Poper, your top three in an incredible race. You were just watching the Ski Light Championship. And oh my gosh, that was incredible. Again, congratulations, Ty Smith, Britton Reinhardt, and of course, Ryan Poper. That's your top three on the final. Well, listen, guys, I just want to say a couple of quick things. First off, one of the most beautiful locations I've had a chance to ever announce at. I mean, good grief. It's like a kids' playground, but also for adults. 100 acres of joy just hanging out here at Riversport OKC. I mean, come on now. There's just too much stuff to even name it all. And the fact that they have hosted so many premier and international renowned events. I want to just say thank you, huge thank you to Riversport OKC for hosting us this weekend. Don't go too far. Get yourself some rest. Come back and join us tomorrow. You've been watching the Junior Nationals brought to you by Leisure Pools and, of course, Jet Tribe. I want to say a special thanks to all of our officials and, of course, Justin Smith, our race director, and, of course, Terry Hebert as well, the partners in crime, if you will, for Naughty Water Racing. We're going to be back with even more great racing tomorrow. Don't go away. Don't forget that link. It's been such a pleasure to join you today. Extra thanks to all of our crew as well. We'll be back with even more tomorrow. We're going to start at 1 o'clock, so don't miss it. I'll talk to you then.